Now, these funds will be the only currency accepted on the Pebbles Pay Tour this September. The tour will visit 3 cities with rock in their name, plus a stop in Bentonville, Arkansas, home to the Walmart headquarters.
Is one of them Sand Rock?
No, they're going Rock Hill, South Carolina, Little Rock, Arkansas, and Round Rock, Texas.
Okay, all big cities. Well, they might come to Sand Rock.
Round Rock's a pretty cool town. I've been to Little Rock and Round Rock. I've never been to Rock Hill.
I think I've driven through Round Rock.
Right outside of Austin.
Right outside of Austin. Yeah, I've driven through Round Rock. I did not spend much time there. But it's good. It's known for baseball, right?
Yeah. Nolan Ryan owned the team. I guess he still does.
He may.
Grocery store checkout dispute. We've already done this one. Yeah, I meant to tell you. We did this one with the guy that sprayed the bug spray. We did it a couple of days ago. On the people leaving. You remember?
Yeah, but we didn't have his photo.
Well, there's his photo.
There's his photo. So now we know what he looked like.
That's the guy that got in the dispute with the couple and ended up spraying them outside.
And there was an update to this. He's a TikToker.
Oh, you think
Did
he was
he
doing
get
this
on TikTok?
For influence?
100% he was. There's people who have done dumber things to try and get famous on
Well,
the internet.
if I'm the judge and the prosecution, I'm like, okay, you want to influence? We're going to influence. We're going to show if you're an influencer and you're spraying people with bug spray, we're going to put you in jail for a little bit.
I thought you were going to go death penalty. So Lance has dialed it back a little bit.
Yep,
I thought we were going to go death penalty.
Not going death penalty.
Yeah. Also, I didn't know, was it really bed bug and flea killer?
Yes, this is still taken from his TikTok.
Yeah. Over in the banana section, he was like, I'm going to go to the banana section to take my photo. Or did he spray the bananas?
He could have sprayed the bananas too.
That would
no
be bad.
bueno. Prince George man was pulled over by police after driving a child-sized pink toy Barbie Jeep along one of the main roads in north central British Columbia on September the 5th. Now, photos captured by several witnesses show Casper Lincoln wearing aviator sunglasses. I don't think those are aviators. Those are Oakley blades.
Blenders, aren't they?
Like pit vipers.
Yeah.
Speaking to CBC News, Lincoln said he was getting ready to get a Slurpee with a friend, but, quote, got lazy, decided to borrow his roommate's child's tiny car to get around. As his friend walking beside him, quote, I never drove it before, he said while laughing. In the images, Lincoln is seen driving near the side of the road that's been closed for construction before turning onto an open side road. Then an unmarked police cruiser pulls him over. He's arrested. Some onlookers were in disbelief. Quote, you're really arresting him for driving a kid's Jeep, asked Summer Karen, one of the people to film the man being put into handcuffs. They pulled Lincoln over after a traffic stop. In the course of talking to him, they found that he had A, suspended license, and B, was inebriated.
I can believe the inebriated part. What does his shirt say, Tyler? Can you zoom in on the shirt there in the left picture?
Let's do it the dumbest way possible.
There you go.
And then something under that.
Yeah,
it looks
I don't
like
need
one
to see
of
the
those
under.
shirts you see at like Walmart that's got like the sarcastic, like quirky sayings on it.
Yes.
Now, according to police, driving an unlicensed motorized vehicle, even one that's made for a kid, on a road meant for full-size cars is against the law, as it should be. Now, Kyla Lee, a Vancouver-based attorney specializing in driving offenses, agreed with police, saying it is well established that toy vehicles are not allowed on the road. And you can't even drive golf carts on the road.
There are some that are street legal.
Yes.
You got to be careful on that.
Yeah.
But we've learned in trash over the years, one thing I have learned in trash is you can get a DUI driving a lawnmower. If you're out on a road.
Horse.
I think we've had one on a horse,
cart,
haven't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
Several times.
Yeah, several times on a horse.
Yeah.
Any conveyance.
Can you imagine if cops were patrolling said golf course on a late afternoon?
Oh, there's no telling. I mean,
if you were just pulling over golf carts?
I've seen some people that were, Dunaway, you played a lot of golf. You've seen people that are too smashed to drive a golf cart on the course. They're not on a public road. You've never seen that? Oh, boy, I've seen people that
I have too.
do not need to be driving a golf cart on a course.
I feel like you see it the most out on the water.
Boating?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is super.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, fun show ahead on this Wednesday as we get ready to talk more SEC football as we get deeper into some important SEC games this weekend, including Georgia at Tennessee, and we'll see if Florida can bounce back against LSU. Of course, Bama taking on the mighty Big Ten at home, and Auburn getting ready for homecoming, all that coming up on the show. Don't forget, Friday, because the Big Ten's in town in Wisconsin, we're going to roll over to Galette's, and we'll be there. Special showtime on Friday now. It's 11 to 2 at Galette's. But come and join us with our friends at Bud Light. We'll have a lot of stuff going on there. Should be a whole lot of fun over there, LT. We're looking forward to this so much.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. Weather permitting, we might be outdoors. I have talked to our friends at Adams and said, look, if it's 90 degrees, we don't want to be outdoors. But there's a lot of great setups in Galette's.
When did we get so soft?
Do you want to be outside 90?
I don't.
90's not bad. 90, 95, 98. What's the humidity?
All right, here you go. I'll give you.
I'm just saying there's three levels of Galette's. You got the front, the patio, you've got right inside right there, and then you got the back. I'm very content being in one of the inside parts.
91 degrees, 5% chance of rain.
No chance of rain. Come on.
That's 5%. It's none. Yes, I would
No
agree.
chance of rain.
I'm with Lance. It sounds good in principle. Let's do the show outside until you're sitting outside in it for 3 hours.
Yeah. Hey, look, we're going to be back Tuscaloosa 3 different times this fall.
Those will all be outdoors.
And we can be outdoors on every single one of those.
Every one of those.
All right. So,
But a lot of good stuff going on. We're going to do a special Bama and bourbon on the backside of that. I talked to our former intern, Jack Poole. He is going to be bringing his crew out. So it's going to be a lot of people coming out drinking delicious cold Bud Light, getting ready for Wisconsin and Alabama. I saw a graph that our man Brooks put out on, is it the two most drinking counties or the two most drinking states in the lower 48?
yeah.
I think it's Alabama and Wisconsin.
No. I think it was a comparison of how bad Wisconsin is and Alabama is.
Wisconsin is the only state in the entire country where it was entirely red, or in some cases purple. If you go look, red to purple means over 20% or more of their residents are excessive drinkers, according to the CDC.
So that's Wisconsin people coming to Tuscaloosa.
We still have dry counties in Alabama.
That's
though,
right. Yeah, that's why we can't be on that.
Bet they don't have any.
Our
Wisconsin.
whole state was green and yellow, which was like 15%
So
less.
under control.
Or the green, or the liars and the yellow, or
Here's the graphic you're talking about, Lance.
Yep. Yeah. So there you go. I'm just saying, a lot of Wisconsin fans should be in town.
That's right. They like to get after it.
Really, I thought yesterday. I thought it was earlier this week. You guys were questioning how many Wisconsin fans would actually make it down for the trip.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I know. I think.
I mean,
they
I would
travel pretty
assume
well.
it would be a decent amount. I mean, they know they're going to get beat, but how often do you get to go on campus?
I think a lot of college football fans just like to check a stadium off the list.
Okay.
As a fan, I would.
There were more people than I expected from Oklahoma State in Eugene this past weekend.
Yeah,
I mean, I saw specklings of orange in Autzen Stadium, but I did not think we were expecting a ton of Wisconsin fans to be here.
I would say 5,000, fair, 5 to 10,000.
No, 5,000. That's a reasonable number. Yeah.
But I mean, I would assume all of those 5,000 are probably drinkers. So I'm just saying
That's
they'll all be
stereotype. Yes.
So that's all coming up this weekend. Brooks, you look like you have something else to say. Do you?
No,
Anything else?
I was just listening. I think one of the counties specifically where Dane County, where Madison is, I think is one of the purple counties. So,
Okay. All right.
I've heard that's one town.
You know, they have some original beers from Madison, right? That's a big,
I feel like
beer area.
I feel like Brooks is doing election coverage. We've got him from Dane County, and it's going purple.
I lived in Wisconsin for 3 years. I'm very well versed.
But very nice
the
people,
alcohol
right,
culture.
Brooks?
Oh, they're a jolly bunch up there. That's about the best way to describe it. That's the Midwest. They're just
Jolly.
they're thick and hearty and happy to be drinking, and they like a nice casserole, a lot of things.
How would you describe your blind date? Well, she had a great personality. She was a little thick.
Jolly.
I think I want a little Santa Claus on the description.
She likes a nice casserole.
All right, so the show brought to you today by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing as we jump into what everyone else has been talking about up here already. But at Storm Restoration Roofing, Greg wants to talk to you about your roof. And when's the last time you had anybody inspected? We're coming out of summer, about to go into fall. We've had all these pop-up thunderstorms, big lines of straight-line winds that come through. One loose shingle can cause a problem. Let Greg, who's a wonderful family man and cares about your family too, he's local, and he wants to get on your roof and give you a free, no-cost roof inspection. He'll do that for you. All you have to do is call the number 205-542-3531, 542-3531. Greg or one of his sons and crew members will jump up there and check that roof out to make sure everything is okay up there. If not, he's got a variety of ways to help you out, including roofing repairs, roof replacement, storm damage repairs. He can do it all, and works with insurance providers really well. He's got financing available if your deductible or something gets out of whack there. He wants to take care of you in a family-friendly way because it's him and his family. He's got 10 kids. He and his wife, Andrea, run the company. They're local. They're not a fly-by-night come through and try to take your money during storm season in the South like some of these other companies may do occasionally. Greg's not going anywhere. Roots are deep. He's A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Give him a call, 205-542-3531, or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Excuse me. All right, so overnight, you've seen a lot of discussion about Bray Hubbard, especially on our social media platform. Forrester, when you saw this, before you sent this out, Scotty, I don't know if Scotty can hear me. Okay. When you've looked at sound bites for a long time. When you first saw Bray Hubbard pop up here, did you know that this was a must-see soundbite?
I had a pretty good feeling that anything Bray said in that interview could pop.
Yeah. So cut number 3, Tyler. We'll jump in there. The viral video that went of Bray not necessarily pursuing a Florida State defender at a maximum speed was the jumping off point of the conversation. Here's Bray.
Games happen. I mean, it wasn't me that game. Effort wasn't me that game, but I had to get it corrected, and I got it corrected, and I'm just going to keep stacking.
I was going to ask about that. There was that clip going around of you. How did you sort of take that in and sort of?
You ever poured gas on a fire like that? Okay. I mean, my phone's blowing up. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, it's part of it, but I mean, it's just fuel to the fire. So at the end of the day, that's all it is.
Took it personally?
Yeah, I took it personally. I mean, it's on me. I mean, coaches see it. I saw it. I mean, it's obvious. I got to take it on myself. So.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love the accountability.
I do too.
By the way, Owen Wilson meets Pat Tillman.
A little bit. Yeah, he does kind of look like a country music singer too.
You got to love the accountability, man. So many people like to deflect. It wasn't my fault. It's him. It's her.
I was hurt. I got a little banged up on the play before. I mean, you could have said a lot of things.
Yeah, you guys see different angles. You don't know exactly what I was looking at.
I was trying to get out of the game. Sideline didn't see me, so I couldn't get out. I mean,
if you're Kalen DeBoer, if you're the teammate, if you're Kane Womack, this is exactly what you want out of Bray.
Yeah, I mean, you want him. You want two things. You want this: take accountability, take responsibility, and then play like he talked about, gasoline on the fire. Play with your hair on fire from now on, right? Never have this issue again. If anything, you hustle too much. If anything, you're a try-hard, they call you now. But never have that issue again.
Here's Bray now talking about if it's better to flush that experience or use it as fuel, as Brown was talking about, almost like he knew the soundbite was coming. Here's Bray Hubbard.
Is it better to flush Florida State, or is it better to hold on to it and have it be, to use your word, like gasoline for the rest of the year?
I mean, yeah. I mean, you got to use that because, I mean, that was not the standard of how we play. So you got to use that every week. I mean, we're like everybody's national championship, so we got to bring our A game every game because other opponents are going to bring their A game to us every game. So
I did not know he was going to say that next. Actually, I had not even seen that soundbite. You would hope you use this the rest of the season because you would hope it has taught you what you cannot do.
He does sound like a country music singer.
He does a little bit, yeah.
You think he can sing?
I don't know.
Play guitar?
I don't know.
Another Sam Hunt?
Yeah. I just think, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to say this because at some point you got to put win or loss every game behind you, right? But you don't necessarily have to put the lessons from those games behind you, win or lose, right? There are lessons in winning and there are lessons in losing. And while you may have to put the game behind you and not dwell on it anymore or not celebrate it anymore, I don't think you can put the lessons behind you. And it sounds like Bray learned a lesson in that game.
Did you guys hear Collinsworth the other night talking about the fumble he had in the Super Bowl? And that was back in 1982.
Still bothers him?
Yeah, but he was talking about Mark Andrews, and he was talking about that missed 2-point conversion. He was like, you've got to move on, but you'll never forget that. Like, he will hold on to that play for the rest of his life. So, Bray probably, if he ends up having an outstanding NFL career, probably will remember the criticism and that loss for the rest of his career.
Yeah. And you hope it drives you. Yeah.
He'll get asked about it at the NFL Combine. He'll get asked about that specific play.
No doubt.
Oh, they'll probably throw it up in front of him. Hey, what was this?
There's bad film. They're going to show you bad film.
What's happening right here?
Yeah.
If I draft you, is that ever going to happen again? Bray Hubbard there yesterday. You can see that on at Next Round Live or wherever you get us on any social media platform. Also Spotify and Apple. Go check that out as Alabama gets ready for Wisconsin. That gets me to my big question here as we jump into this today. Brought to you by our friends at A+. Brownie, tell us about A+.
That is our guy, Brad Bell, and you can see more from Brad at alabamabathremodels.com. That is alabamabathremodels.com. What Brad does... Excuse me, water went down the wrong way right before you called me there, Jim. What Brad does is specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closet remodels. Not all he does, but that is his specialty, and here's why that's important, is when you remodel those rooms, you're going to enjoy them while you have them, and you are going to get some of your money back when you go to sell those rooms. So that's one reason I always tell you that's what Brad specializes in. He'll do anything, but he is really, that's his specialty there. 205-422-1758 is his number. 205-422-1758. AlabamaBathRemodels.com is the website. You want to see some more before and afters? You can get those right there at AlabamaBathRemodels.com. And let Brad Bell redo your home. Make it a place you love living. Make it a place when you sell, you'll make some money back. AlabamaBathRemodels.com or 205-422-1758.
All right, so Forster, I'll need the Alabama schedule for this if you can pull it up for me. How can I say? I want the chat room to chime in after you guys, Brownie. Over what we've seen last year and so far this year, after Wisconsin this weekend, when we get to SEC play, as an Alabama fan, do you go into any game the rest of the year comfortable?
Other than Eastern Illinois, any conference game.
I said SEC game,
T-Bob Hebert had one of the best rants after Alabama lost against Florida State. I don't know if you got to see it. I showed it to these guys.
I did see
Absolutely incredible. But he talked about Alabama fans are going to be fearing going into these games, and I just think it's a new reality in college football. Like, the domination of teams like Georgia and Alabama and even Ohio State moving forward. Ohio State might be a little bit different, Oregon in the Big Ten. But SEC, when you start to look at these schedules, like, nothing is given. And after Wisconsin, it gets like Vanderbilt at home. Vanderbilt's still a good team. Like, I think
it may look different this weekend. After
if
South
they win that
Carolina.
game, then they're going to be ranked, and then everybody's like, well, damn, here comes Vanderbilt again. But they're outside of Eastern Illinois, and I'll put Wisconsin in. If we did degree of difficulty with games left, obviously Eastern Illinois is the easiest.
Yeah.
The next easiest is Wisconsin.
Yeah,
that is factual.
But then I was going to ask, then what's next? What's the one you think Alabama fans worry the least about among conference
It would be
games?
Vanderbilt at home. A revenge game. They're not going to sneak up on you.
Okay, what's next?
Oh, man. It's tough. I would guess at Missouri, but I wouldn't.
Yeah. No, that's only because of reputation and helmet. Yeah.
I mean, if you watch Missouri Saturday, that was a good-looking team.
What does Alabama have problems with?
Running quarterback.
Running quarterback. Yeah. And look how many of those are coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's college football now, right?
It's every one of them.
Yeah, but to your point, Dunaway, I mean, you cannot relax on anything, which I love as a college football fan. I love going. It used to be the most boring thing. You would look up, and those Alabama teams were up 14-0 at 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and I know Alabama fans love that, and I don't blame you for loving it. As a college football viewer, Lance is right. It was boring.
Awful.
You knew the outcome of these games.
Oh, you would look at our Nick Saban schedule and you'd say, okay, that game is going to be interesting, and that game is going to be interesting.
It was 2.
And then it's the SEC championship.
That was it.
Yeah, but then there was always that random game that got more interesting than you thought it was going to, and some of the ones you circled right there weren't interesting at all. They ended up being a 31-point beatdown. But it was only one a year that got more interesting than you thought.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys are on this. I still will stand by Alabama loses 1 or 2 more times, but I think they're going to be in 5 or 6 one-possession games. And so that's going to test how good of a coach DeBoer is and how good of a quarterback Ty Simpson ultimately is.
And how much intestinal fortitude your fan base has, because they have not been in that situation in a long time.
I still have them as a playoff team. I think you do, too.
Yeah, I do, too.
Yeah.
I do, too. Do you feel, and I was going to ask you guys, The Florida State loss was such a shock, but after La Monroe, the effort you saw and how everybody feels going into this Wisconsin game, and this can change on a dime with a loss, but it feels like Alabama fans have processed it's a new reality in college football. You can lose 2, maybe 3 games. At least people I've talked to. You haven't felt it?
No, you tell me, in what point in your life, I won't put a number on any of our lives, but in your life, what point as Alabama fan and reality ever been used really in the same sentence?
Never. Yeah. But I think it's getting closer in today's college football. I think you're going to have to get a grip of what is the reality of today's world of college football.
I think what you're saying and what I think we all expect is that we are about to go into, I think Josh Pate called it a bloodbath the other day in the SEC, that you said on the air that maybe deeper teams, good teams this year than we've had last year and in recent years in the SEC.
I think.
Like, with 11 teams ranked, there were really good teams deep into the standings.
Would you give me this? Like, Missouri played the 2013 Missouri team was really good. But this Missouri team with Eli Drinkwitz is probably better than either one of those teams that played in the SEC championship.
I don't know.
The one was garbage, really.
Those pass rushers were really good. You're saying they were helped out by the division they were in.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, South Carolina is probably better than those 11-win South Carolina teams under Spurrier.
This current South Carolina team, I still wonder about this current team. I know they've got a really good quarterback.
Y'all are shitting on my point. All I was going to say is, like, the SEC is as deep and as rounded as it's ever been.
I don't disagree with that.
I do think this Missouri team is maybe more complete than some of those, but that – I know it was like a 1,000 to 980 final score against Auburn in that SEC championship game, but I felt like that was still a good defense, especially a good pass rush that they had back then. They always had good defensive ends, pass rushers.
Who was your number 1 power ranking team in the SEC? I'll do this. I'll do it this way.
I had LSU.
Who was your dead last, Kentucky or Arkansas?
Oh, Kentucky by far.
Kentucky. Yeah. Where'd you have Arkansas? Next to last?
Yeah.
If you're LSU going to Arkansas this weekend, would you feel great? Great?
No, that's what I was going to say. Other than Kentucky, and we just saw what Kentucky did with Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ole Miss had to fight to win that game.
But other than Kentucky, I think the league's pretty good.
Yeah, this is the only time in the league now you can lose as a 17.5-point underdog at home and go up 2 spots in the AP poll.
Yeah. Okay, more on that coming up after we talk to Andy Staples.
Do we have the video of her?
We do. Yeah. We'll get into her. Not to pile on her. We need to show a little grace to her, but
she just doesn't need to vote anymore.
Well, as a guy who did it, this was always my biggest fear.
I know,
and she's living my nightmare.
Yeah.
More on that coming up in a second. Let's get to Luke Fickell, what he has to say about coming to Tuscaloosa right after LT tells us about the updated line for Wisconsin visiting Alabama and maybe some other big points. Brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag.
Yeah, the updated line right now, Alabama 21-point favorites. They are a 3-touchdown favorite over Wisconsin. And the Auburn Tigers, a 25-point favorite. I thought I saw a half get added to that. I was going to look real quick. 25-point favorite. To South Alabama as they play them at home. So the Crimson Tide favored by 3 touchdowns. Auburn favored by the solid 25 right there at mybookie.ag. Clemson still holding on as a 3.5-point favorite as they take on Georgia Tech. And Georgia bumped up 0.5 point overnight. Bulldogs back up to a 4-point favorite as they play at the Tennessee Volunteers coming up Saturday. You can play all those games at mybookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at mybookie.ag. And what that sign-on is going to do, it's going to get you that $500, up to $500 bet back bonus. Here's how that works. You make your bet, and up to $500, if you lose that bet, they will put it right back into your account when you use code NEXTROUND at mybookie.ag. Just fire down, bet again, and you're good to go. mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
And if you want to get the upper hand on the man, Lance'sLock.com. Another winning night last night. How about this? Last 32 days, 25 winning nights, Only 7 losing nights.
That's a pretty good number there.
That is quite the roll for us at Lance'sLock.com. Jump on board. Free play every single day. About to roll back into the weekend tomorrow night with NFL, college action. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. I had a buddy call me yesterday. Was with his kid on the playground. He said, my wife just called. The house is 80 degrees. Who do I call?
Oh, bad
I said,
feeling.
bother my man Andrew. Call him up. Tell him I told you to give him a buzz. Andrew, Adam, Chad, all the guys there. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Wow. If the house was 80 degrees, we'd have to do the show inside.
That's when I'll go outside.
Hey, I run cold, but you said last week that you have been freezing
That's
lately,
true.
so that's why you want to be outside.
Yeah.
It's 90-something degrees.
Yeah, it's too hot.
Yeah.
But 80 degrees inside a house, 90 degrees outside feels better than 80 degrees inside.
Oh,
I'm 100% with
absolutely.
you.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
If my other option was 80 degrees inside a Galette's, we would sit outside.
Yeah, I run cold up here all the time.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to up here.
I
It's
don't
frigid.
understand the cooling. Okay, chat room. What are they saying about feeling comfortable for SEC games coming up for Alabama? Do they feel comfortable going into any of them? I mean, after losing on the road at Vandy last year and on the road at Oklahoma last year, I don't see how.
The landmine believer, I'm comfortable with Wisconsin and Eastern Illinois and Vandy. The rest, no. Boy, Vandy is still not earning respect, are they?
Yeah. I mean, there is no way. And, like, I would say this. There's no other game I would say this about. There is no way, though, Alabama can lose back-to-back years to Vanderbilt, especially at home this year.
I would have to agree with you on that. Jason, not at all comfortable. He says none. Don't give me any right there. Sam, I will have to see after Georgia. Wisconsin will tell us nothing, he says.
Yeah.
So he's just
But
he's
let me
waiting
ask
on
you
Georgia.
guys this. If Georgia loses to Tennessee, then is Georgia going to tell you anything?
I don't
I mean,
know.
Alabama fans would be like, son of a bitch. Like, I really don't know anything about Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say this. My biggest problem with this group so far has been last year. No, this year we don't know yet. But last year's team seemed to be allergic to success. Like, as soon as you thought, okay, they've got this figured out,
I agree.
then something would happen. They didn't handle success very well.
Yeah.
So can they do something good like they did against La Monroe and then stack that against Wisconsin, handle it during a bye week, and stack that again in Athens?
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
And then everybody will be raving about them, and then stack that again.
Yeah.
Right? That's been for this group of athletes so far. Stacking success and handling the success, because just like when they were over the hump last year, something would happen to them, and that's not always easy. It's not always easy to handle the success.
Here's an interesting observation from Kyle. I actually feel fairly comfortable about LSU, Missouri, maybe Tennessee and Georgia. They don't have the type of offense and QBs that give us trouble. So he's taking it in a different direction, I think. He's like, I'm just worried about the mobile QBs.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Tennessee, I mean, Nico wasn't running all over the field last year, and they lost to Tennessee.
He was not on the road. But yes, no, absolutely right. Jay Bake, LSU at home. Feels comfortable about LSU at home.
Just the number 3 team in the country.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see. Here.
I mean, is that guy an AP poll voter?
Brett, Vandy. This is truck driver Brett. Vandy, even at home, Oklahoma and Auburn, they all have QBs that can hurt us. So he doesn't feel comfortable about those.
Yeah.
Vandy, even at home.
Yeah, and it goes back to the defense. Is there something that schematically that makes it even tougher against those type of quarterbacks? And we'll see. I mean, there's plenty, including Gunnar Stockton, and there are plenty of reasons why to not be comfortable. Not saying again, Alabama's a playoff team to me.
Yeah.
Just saying, the days of me watching, as LT keeps pointing out, the day of me just turning on the TV or going to the game saying, I wonder how much Alabama's going to win by.
And what's really uncomfortable now for Alabama fans is you probably get one more loss. You might get 2, depending on how the season plays out. But like the margin of error is at the slimmest it can be right now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what's interesting about Notre Dame this weekend, by the way. If Notre Dame goes 0-2, do you guys think they can get back in it?
I don't. Well, I wrote them out after Northern Illinois last year. I will write them out right now at 0-2.
They're a very popular
tough.
brand at 10-2, but it would be tough.
Yeah.
At that point, it becomes who they have beaten. Here's Luke Fickell, head coach of Wisconsin, coming to town. A lot of Alabama fans made the trip up to Madison last year, so they're heading down this way. We don't know how many Wisconsin fans will be here, but they'll be outnumbered. We'll say 95,000 to 5,000. Luke Fickell, you ready for the crowd noise?
Luke, is there anything you can do this week to simulate the stadium environment? I know it's an early game, and they always complain about that down there, but how do you...
What do they complain? I didn't know that.
They don't like early games.
Okay.
They get really mad about them. But,
good.
But is there anything
I don't
you
think they
can
asked us what time we wanted to play, though. Yes. I mean, we're going to play the music. We'll be prepared better than we were last year when we went to Iowa. That's what I can truly say. And that might have been one of those ones that, I don't say it caught you off guard, but it was maybe even louder than what we had expected. And I know that we had a plan going in there. It was more of a third down plan. It wasn't a first and second down plan, but then we had to adjust. It was one of those things, that we'll never be in that position again. So all week we'll be, going with some different cadence things and put a little bit more on the guys up front to make sure we're all on the same page. We started that last night in our Sunday practice. Can you really get the noise as loud as it's going to be on Saturday? I don't think we can, but we'll surely try.
Iowa.
They got a plan.
Iowa. I mean, that's 42-10. Same score Alabama beat them by, 42-10.
Yeah.
In Iowa, I never thought of that as like...
In Big Ten terms,
Yeah.
they don't roll into a lot of...
No, I was probably... I mean, you would go with the obvious, the Ohio State, the Oregon, the Penn State, but I might put Iowa right behind it.
It's funny you didn't go Big House because I don't think of that as a loud place either.
I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have that reputation.
It's like old school Bryant-Denny.
Where would you put them in the SEC? Like, where do you think Kinnick Stadium fits in the difficulty pecking order of the SEC?
Depends on how good they are.
Okay, let's assume everybody's good.
Because Mississippi State Saturday night was crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As I've always said.
You say it's underrated.
I've always said that's a loud place to play for a big game.
Okay, Vanderbilt and Kentucky.
Flush those. Flush those.
Those are gone.
South Carolina louder than you think.
It is, yeah.
South Carolina's a tough place to
And
play.
I've never been to Arkansas, but you've been to Fayetteville.
Even when they're good, though? Were you there when they were good?
Yeah. I mean, it's...
2011? Were you up there for that game? Alabama, Arkansas, 2011, when Arkansas was really good and had a chance. I think you were doing the Saban show at the time.
Yeah. 2011 wasn't that... 2011 was here. I think 2010 was up there.
Was it here? Yeah, you're right about that. It was here.
Yeah, I was there.
Okay.
Pretty much all... for most of my life, I've been at the games. Arkansas, I wouldn't put up there.
Okay.
Arkansas and Iowa, that'd be a good place. I've never been to Iowa, though.
I haven't either.
But Arkansas is sort of the cutoff line. Andy Staples, when we come back on the other side, to talk about everything going on in college football. And Andy's got a ton of insight on that, On3 Sports, where they continue to add to their team of elite college football minds and names. Bojangles, elite when it comes to breakfast and lunch today. Tell us about Bojangles.
Yeah, great place for lunch if you want some of those hand-breaded tenders and the great sauces that go with them. Great idea for tailgating, high school football, or the college watch parties this weekend. You can use Bojangles. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, get that breakfast from Bojangles. That pork chop griller is back. You've missed it, that great pork chop between those biscuits. It is so good. And you can get it at your local Bojangles and make it bow time.
And our friends at Weight Wellness there to help you jumpstart your weight loss, but also do a variety of other things, like just maybe get cholesterol numbers, blood pressure numbers in line through using your food plan. They've got a plan for you. The website literally says that, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. I'll roll by and see Leslie and her board-certified team a little bit later today after the show. You can do it as well. Start off right there on the website and find out what they can do for you. They got injection therapies, which are so popular, meal replacement. I use these protein bars, one for breakfast during the week and to keep me from bad snacking between lunch and dinner. Fantastic on the golf course, too. Planforme.com. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation's free. She's even got a diet plan for you if you suffer from sleep apnea. A variety of things she can do for you. Check it out. Planforme.com. It's Weight Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to shannara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round. Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
When Andy Staples joined On3 Sports, I didn't know he was going to be a pioneer. He was the first major free agent. I remember going to On3, and now others have followed. What a lineup they have there. We're about to hear from Andy, his thoughts on the week 3 of college football coming up. If you want to enjoy that, you go to your game day place. That's Walk-Ons. Celebrate football with drinks and the great made-from-scratch favorites at Walk-Ons. All the TVs, all the cocktails right there. Everything from melty mozzarella logs to the Hall of Fame level burgers at Walk-Ons. Trussville, Greystone, and Stadium Trace. Go by there right now at Walk-Ons.
I've always thought of Andy as a pioneer. When I think Andy Staples, I think pioneer Andy, like Lewis and Clark. You're right up there.
Yeah, we're Sacagawea. No, I think I'm more of a Pied Piper than a pioneer.
Okay,
I just
yes.
Lead everybody where they're going to. No, look, my decision was easy. You take people who have done a thing a couple times already and had success with it, and they're doing it a third time, and they've refined the process, and all they care about is college sports, which is pretty much all I care about professionally. Pretty easy decision.
You and Chris Lowe, one of your new colleagues, Chris Lowe, reported about Alabama booster unrest after the Florida State game. I assume that same booster has called you back after the La Monroe win. It's like, hey, it's all good now. They scored 73 against La Monroe.
Oh, yeah, they scored 73.
Yeah.
I believe, what did the social media graphics say? Still Bama? So, yeah, it's problems are all solved. Don't worry about it, guys. We can go. Just turn your gaze to Gainesville. It'll be fine.
Well, yeah, we're going to get to that in a moment. But the truth is, obviously, we live here. We're right in the middle of it. We talk about it every day. There's not an Alabama fan out there that's going to believe anything until they see it against Georgia. So they can do whatever they want to Wisconsin Saturday. It's not going to matter until they see what happens in Athens. And that's the way it is right now.
I would agree with that, Ryan. I think that's exactly the way to approach it. And, I was thinking about this Wisconsin game. I was at the Alabama-Wisconsin game last year in Madison, and it feels like it's almost the same game. Wisconsin's starting QB got hurt in that game rather than getting hurt 2 games earlier this year, but it's probably Alabama against a backup Wisconsin quarterback. And I imagine we're going to see pretty much the same game. And that doesn't necessarily tell us anything when the worry is that this Alabama team is just like last year's Alabama team. So, like you said, you want to see it against Georgia. But the funny thing is, last year's Alabama team took a 28-0 lead against Georgia too.
It's true.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how they progress, because I think the fear is not necessarily that Alabama will. Obviously, if Georgia clobbers them, that's a different story. But I think the fear is that Alabama has become a type of team that gets up for the big games and doesn't get up for the games that they don't think are big, which is antithetical to everything Nick Saban believed. And every coach wants their team to be consistent from week to week. Nick Saban's superpower was actually making his team do it. And so I think that's the interesting part. And I don't know that we get to figure that part out until that Vandy, Missouri kind of stretch, where those are games where typically you'd think Alabama's going to win those. They're going to roll in those games. But those are really good teams this year that, if you don't come to play, can beat you. And obviously they learned that against Vanderbilt last year. So that's the thing. We're really not going to know what this Alabama team is until probably a couple weeks after that Georgia game.
And the reality is, Andy, there was a time not long ago where Alabama, the games were over after the first quarter. We were talking about this on the last segment. When you look at this Alabama schedule, if you're an Alabama fan, what games are you comfortable with? We said Eastern Illinois. We think Wisconsin this weekend. Maybe Vanderbilt at home, just based on the fact that they beat Alabama last year. But outside of that, we're living in a reality now where week in, week out in the SEC, it literally is the NFL. Would you agree that, I don't know if it's ever coming back. It seems like we're going to get a lot of one-possession games. Every weekend we're going to get a massive upset. And the reality is, at the end of the season, you're going to get some 10-2s and some 9-3s. You're not going to get undefeated teams.
Yeah, I don't think so either, Lance, because the cumulative effect of a lot of these games is going to wear on teams. Like for Alabama specifically, so they get the open date before Georgia, but you go Georgia, Vandy, Missouri, Tennessee, South Carolina. I don't know that there's a team in the country that's going to go undefeated through that stretch. Oklahoma, we saw them against Michigan. They looked amazing. They looked like they're going to be much better than last year. But look at their last 7 games in a row. It's the hardest 7-game stretch I think I've ever seen in college football history. So you're right. It really depends on how you manage that, how you handle the cumulative effect of the physical, the physicality of play in the SEC, and are you going to get a little lucky? Because even the best teams, you're right, are going to take losses in this scenario. And when they go to 9 conference games, same, just more.
As a former Florida Gator walk-on, how tough is it for you to do your job and not get emotional about the Florida Gators and where they are right now?
Not at all, because I've been doing this a long time. It's interesting. I've thought about this because in this media environment, it's actually better to be the super fan, and I think people connect with that more.
Yeah.
But I came up in the old days where you just you cover the team you cover, and you don't get emotionally invested in the games and don't worry about it. I mean, the thing is, I actually had to make the choice between being on the Florida football team and doing this job when I was in college, because back then you couldn't be on the football team and cover sports for the school paper. So I had to leave the team to work for the school paper. And, that wouldn't happen now. Now I'd have my own podcast. I'd be doing restaurant reviews and stuff like that. And I just stayed on the team. And that would have been better for me professionally. But it's a different time now. So, and I covered Florida as a beat writer. So you really don't, once you do that, you don't get emotionally invested in the outcome of any game. And you realize, hey, people are just people, and the people change.
Yeah. Do you have a room, though, that you walk into, maybe a dark room, a soundproof room in your home, and occasionally just scream at the football gods?
No, not really.
They make him a good
I was
living.
on the first national championship team.
But are you
coming in and
shocked?
taking my ring?
But Andy, are you shocked, though, that Florida is in a situation where in year 4, Billy Napier is 20-20. Did you ever think a coach could coach for 3+ years and be 20-20 at Florida after what Spurrier built and then Urban Meyer continued to dominate with?
No, I didn't, because they'd been pretty quick on the trigger before. McElwain got fired when they got sideways. When it was clear Dan Mullen's recruiting wasn't going to be good enough, he got fired despite a really good record at that point. Not in that season, but the first 3 seasons of Dan Mullen were really good. No, I think what this was is it was a rebuke of Dan Mullen, where you're saying, okay, you're going to recruit in a way that you build a roster that can be competitive long term. The thing is, and I think this is the part where there's a disconnect, is that you still have to do the winning part of it. And, they gave him time. He was going to get fired last year. The decision was made to fire him after the Texas A&M game. Then he gets forced into starting DJ Lagway when Graham Mertz gets hurt against Tennessee. That looks very promising. They decide, even before he beats LSU and Ole Miss, that they're going to bring him back because they like the idea of DJ Lagway leading this roster. And then he beats LSU and Ole Miss. So some of the things that would have been required, because when he was told he was coming back, he was also told one of the conditions of your return is you hire an offensive coordinator who will take play calling away from you. Once he beat LSU and Ole Miss last year, he didn't have to do that anymore. He developed enough juice that he didn't have to listen to that. That's still the problem, as you saw in the USF game. Play calling still the problem. The balance of being the CEO and the play caller still the problem. And some guys can do it and some guys aren't good at it. And Billy Napier's not been able to balance those two things. And so I think that's the biggest part of it now, is you got that kind of fool's gold. And I bought into it too. When they beat LSU and Ole Miss last year, it's like, okay, they've turned the corner. This is different. Everything's changed. The fact is, nothing had changed. They had 2 good games in a row. And so they're basically in the same boat, now going into this brutally hard stretch of schedule. And what I said, though, is, because I think there's a lot of Florida fans who are like, why don't you just do something right now? There's no need to do anything right now. The schedule will take care of this. Either he will go on a miracle run and they'll wind up at either a playoff team or an almost playoff team. Because if you can beat some of these teams in the next stretch, you can beat all of these teams in the next stretch. Or the schedule will just tear him up. And you'll know by the Georgia game what's going to happen. And I would say option B is probably more likely than option A. Significantly more.
Andy Staples is with us at Andy_Staples, part of On3. Brandon in the chat room, a daily viewer of ours, says Andy and Ari's podcast is a daily subscription for him. 1 hour, quick and to the point.
Yeah, very much so.
We are none of those. We're 3 hours. We're slow-minded and
full of sponsors.
You're 3 people. It takes longer.
We all get 1 hour. Yeah,
4 hours a day.
That's right. We all get 1 hour.
Yes. So you can get that podcast wherever you get ours as well. They do a fantastic job. All joking aside, Andy is on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Speaking of writing teams off, because everybody's written Florida off, understandably. Last year about this time, I also wrote Notre Dame off because they lost to Northern Illinois, and you just assumed, well, there's their runway, they're done, they'll lose another game. They never did until the end, the very end. But if they lose Saturday to Texas A&M, they've taken on 2 losses, and they've got a schedule left. Will I write them off again, Andy? Am I right to write them off again?
You can write them off. It's really going to depend on how good the rest of the schedule is. Like if USC turns out to be awesome and they beat them and go 10-2, or NC State has a really good year and that's part of the 10-2, then they probably could make the playoff. But looking at it right now, if they were to lose to Texas A&M and then go 10-2 with losses to Texas A&M and Miami, they could be in the same boat Miami was last year after they lost to Syracuse to go 10-2, which is out of the playoff. And the quality of your wins does matter. And so in this particular case, I think a 10-2 with the A&M game, assuming A&M is pretty good in the SEC, should be fine for them. A 10-2 with losses to Miami and A&M, you better really hope USC and some of those other teams on your schedule have great years.
Heading into week 3 of last year, nobody was talking about Arizona State, Indiana, SMU. Have you seen a flash of a team through 2 weeks that you're like, okay, this team, nobody's really talking about them, but at the end of the year, I could see them crack the top 12 and be in a college football playoff?
Well, I've been on Utah all offseason, and we saw them kill UCLA in the first week, and it was a dominant performance. Now, the thing is, we saw UCLA lose to UNLV also, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. But I thought the way Utah beat them was the way I expected Utah to play, with Devin Dampier quarterback, with those two, Spencer Fano and Caleb Lomu at offensive tackle, who are potential first-rounders, both of them. So I don't think a lot of Big 12 teams are built that way, and I don't think a lot of Big 12 teams are built to stop a team like that. So you're going to get an answer pretty quickly, because Utah plays Texas Tech in Salt Lake City next week, and that's a big deal. Weird 10 a.m. local kickoff, by the way, because it's a big noon game. But I think Utah could win the Big 12. I think they have a very good chance of winning the Big 12. I like the way they're constructed. Kyle Whittingham obviously has been a great coach over the years. They've been in kind of quarterback purgatory the past 2 years because Cam Rising got hurt in that Rose Bowl after the 2022 season when they won the Pac-12. And then it was sort of, is he too hurt to play? Is he going to play this season? He doesn't play in 2023. He does come back in 2024, but gets hurt again. So they were dealing with all that. Now they've had a full offseason with a quarterback who knows the offense, because they imported his offensive coordinator as well. And they are a fully formed team. And so that's the one. I'm really interested in seeing how they do down the stretch. But we'll probably have a pretty good idea once they play Texas Tech, which probably is the most talented roster in the Big 12, next week.
Not to continue to ping your resume, but we show your projected college football playoff every week on our show. It's a mainstay for us, and you've got Auburn right there, first team out. You've been high on Auburn. What do you like about the Tigers so far?
Well, I go back to the Baylor game, and all of the moments where they could have fallen into the traps that got them last season, they chose not to fall into those traps. Like that fourth down play where Jackson Arnold scores up the middle. That's exactly what you need to be running. Run the damn ball. You're gaining 6 yards a carry. Just keep doing the thing that works and don't get cute. And I think Auburn has a chance to do a lot of that this year. I think they're going to be effective running the ball. We'll see with Jackson Arnold when he gets under a little more pressure. But again, Jackson Arnold was in a horrific situation at Oklahoma last year. Oklahoma, you see, has changed things quite a bit. It's not just because they brought John Mateer in. That line is playing a lot better than it did last year, and they have healthy receivers. So you're seeing Jackson Arnold in a lot better situation at Auburn. He's got a lot better line blocking for him than he had last year. He has a lot better targets at receiver. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, here's the thing. They play Oklahoma next week. If they lose to Oklahoma in Norman, I don't think there's any shame in that. I think Oklahoma is going to be really good this year. But I'm curious to see how they play. If they're competitive in that game, they're going to be competitive against everybody. But right now, that Baylor win also looking pretty good, because you saw Baylor go to SMU and win in double overtime last week. So I'm excited to see what Auburn looks like as we move forward, because obviously they get thrown into the deep end of the pool pretty quick with Oklahoma. They've got Texas A&M fairly early. So we're gonna know what's going on, though.
Well, Auburn fans, Andy, you just hinted at this. They came out of that Baylor game concerned about their pass defense. Man, Sawyer Robertson's just really good. Like, he's going to make a lot of pass defense with that.
That's the thing. And I didn't know, after that night, I was thinking, okay, what do we make of this? Is it just that they couldn't cover Baylor? Do they have some deficiencies in the secondary? Was the pass rush not getting home fast enough? No, it's probably that they played a really good quarterback.
Yeah.
I think now that we've seen Sawyer Robertson slice and dice SMU, which doesn't have the greatest defense in the world either, but that was a playoff team last year. Rhett Lashley is a great selector of talent out of the transfer portal. And I think what we're probably going to find out is that Baylor offense does that to just about everybody.
Yeah, leading passer in the nation right now, Robertson is. All right, he is Andy Staples. As we mentioned earlier, Andy and Ari, every single morning right there. They're on YouTube. You get them on podcasts, all the same places you get us. Set your alerts so you know when they're live, and give them a thumbs up like we ask you to do for us, and download their podcast, and at Andy_Staples on social media. Andy, thank you very much for the time. Enjoy week 3.
Thank you, Jens. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. You too. Take care. Andy with us on the Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show being brought to you by our friends at Odie's, where you guys will be out at trivia tonight.
Yeah, Odie's Team Trivia every Wednesday night. The original location in Crestline. Get there a little early. We'll start a little after 8 o'clock, but you can enjoy some great food from Rodney Davis. Been doing it for almost 40 years now. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, ice-cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light, and, of course, the Odie's famous cup cocktails. Stop in either location. The one we'll be at tonight, Crestline. The newest location in Edgewood. Live music every Thursday, Friday. Birmingham Institution is Odie's Tavern.
And our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, 16 locations of Urology Centers of Alabama, and they've been providing your urological care for over 70 years here in Alabama. So this is the gold standard when it comes to urological care in Alabama. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920, an impressive roster of urologists on hand there. You can find the location near you. Schedule the appointment, urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com, and let them help you from everything from prostate health to kidney stones, vasectomies, everything in between, right there at urologycentersalabama.com. Here's Hugh Freeze talking about his quarterback. You just heard Andy raving about Jackson Arnold. Here is Hugh on Jackson so far.
I thought, he had 2 throwaways and was still 24 of 28, so it was a solid night passing. I don't like the sacks, and he used his legs when he needed to. We didn't call any quarterback runs for him Saturday evening, but he still used them to be effective at times. But he was pretty, 24 of 28, so pretty good stat night, and thought he got our receivers involved and allowed us to stay balanced. Like we'd like to be from game to game. Obviously, each game has its own flavor when you get into it, and you figure out the way people are trying to play you, and you certainly want to be wise and doing what is going to be effective or has the best chance to be effective against that, provided you can block them and win routes and things. So I thought he had a really solid night, truthfully, and looking forward to improving upon it as we move forward.
Okay, 11:45 homecoming this week with South Alabama. This is what's interesting here is that you saw them because of Baylor's scheme, run against Baylor. And because they could do it, they could come in and not have to worry about running in the last game against Ball State because they just outclassed them. So they were able to pass. So now we get a game against South Alabama, slightly better than Ball State, but not what you're about to face in Oklahoma. I almost look forward to seeing the mixture of the offense, maybe a little of both in this game.
Is this the most balanced you see Auburn's offense? Is kind of your question there. And I think it probably will be, and I think it's a good time to do that. This is, you use the phrase Dunaway, shakedown cruise. It's a phrase like when you went and bought a boat, you'd want to take it out and rough it up a little bit in the water to see where you got your leaks. And this is your last chance to do this, Lance. Auburn does not get another breath for a very long time after this Saturday.
Yeah, I still think South Alabama, this is one of those where Jeremiah Cobb goes off. South Alabama gave up 241 yards, almost 5.5 yards per carry against Tulane. It was a 2-point game, but South Alabama scored 17 in the fourth quarter. I don't think this is a very good Major Applewhite team.
I would say, though, that Cobb is going to be important for the long haul. Alston's coming back off of injury. Don't know if he'll play this week yet or not. After that, Mapson and that running back room, you know what you got in Alston and Cobb. I'd I understand what you're saying. You can do that. I don't know if you necessarily want him to carry it 16 times for 210 yards.
Yeah, well, look, I think they can beat South Alabama.
That's right.
I mean, South Alabama exerted a lot of energy in that loss at home against Tulane last week, and they're just going to be completely outclassed in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, if you're an Auburn fan, we were talking about Alabama, I'll believe it when I see it against Georgia. I think Auburn fans are a little bit like that at Oklahoma. They've seen it at Baylor, but they saw a Baylor team that was giving up the run. A balanced offense against South Alabama is going to be nice to see. You haven't seen that in quite a while. Auburn's had a tough time finding balance the last couple of years in their offense. But until you can do it at Oklahoma and at Texas A&M, it's not really going to matter.
Our friends at Alabama Power, before we get to viewing menu, helping you as we still got some big storms out there before we get to a new year.
That's right, and you want to make sure you always stay storm alert. They're working to get your lights on, your power back on when that happens. But at Alabama Power, they are also a great member of our community. Not just about powering homes, powering communities. Since 2000, Renew Our Rivers, that's coordinated by Alabama Power, has grown into one of the nation's largest river cleanups. Started as a community cleanup along the Coosa, it's grown into a movement with more than 104,000 volunteers. They've together removed more than 13.5 million pounds of trash from Alabama's waterways. Want to keep Alabama beautiful? Check out the 2025 cleanup schedule at alabamapower.com/renew our rivers.
Hey, and if you wear glasses or contacts, you've been procrastinating, thinking about finding out if LASIK is right for you, now is the time to make the phone call that I made over 2 decades ago, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation, 0 to lose, to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make the phone call that I made. 205-969-8100. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
The big release tonight is on Netflix. It is the Charlie Sheen documentary, a.k.a. Charlie Sheen is the title. After 7 years sober, Charlie Sheen candidly discusses his rise to fame and public downfall, joined by family and friends who share untold stories of his journey through stardom, struggles, and redemption.
I didn't realize that he had HIV. Like, I don't know how I missed that. Yeah, because like the big thing of this is how many guys he slept with.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, so this thing,
Takes some turns,
it's taking some turns of Charlie Sheen that I really didn't know about.
Yeah, there's a ton of just like random conspiracies and like Hollywood sort of rumors about Charlie Sheen.
Is he part of the? Is he part of this documentary? Like, is he in it?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
is he being interviewed? Does he give it his thumbs up? You know, like some of these are done without.
No, I think he's endorsing this one 100%. But I mean, have you seen some of the names behind it? Like, I know randomly Sean Penn's in it. I mean, there's some big names in this. It's kind of like Netflix is doing a pretty good deep dive on these documentaries, much like America's Team.
Cowboys, yeah.
Next up on Tubi, they've added Sinister to its catalog. It's a horror movie with Ethan Hawke. He is a horror writer who moves into a creepy old house.
Yeah.
And he finds out that it's the house that the couple got murdered in.
Good news. He's a horror writer.
Get some good material
That's
out of that, right?
Yeah. Who could have seen that plot twist with him moving
he's
in?
researching for his book, and his wife didn't know that they were moving into the murder house.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Okay, yeah, I'd be upset about
argue
that, too.
over dinner.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
I
that?
know. I'd be upset about that.
The murder house.
I think Sinister's really underrated. If you like The Conjuring and that sort of stuff, then you'll like Sinister. And then finally on viewing menu tonight, 7 p.m. on AMC, you've got Trading Places with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd.
Great movie.
Yeah, it really is.
Yep. I agree. That's what Tyler's watching, brought to you by our friends at Michelson. When we come back, more college football on the other side, including, did you guys know Andy was on the 96?
Yeah, I
national
didn't. I don't
championship
guess I knew
team?
96.
I
I
knew
knew
the years. I knew he played at
I knew he
Florida.
played at Florida, but I didn't know he was on the national championship team. But it makes
yeah.
sense. He's about my age, and yeah.
Another interesting college football story that's floating around from a couple of different sources this week, which is really fascinating. We'll get into that and talk about the AP poll voter, that on the other side. Brought to you by our friends at Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy, from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studio. You're talking about fun on a Saturday. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, going out there and enjoy that with your college football Saturday and Sunday. We're back in a moment on TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Sonora Trial Attorney. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Sonora.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, hour number 2 of the show being brought to you by our friends at Coca-Cola. We know football season can make you thirsty, so if you're an Alabama and Auburn fan, enjoy the refreshing taste of Coke Zero Sugar, because fan work is thirsty work. No name hotter in college athletics right now than Alex Golesh, 41 years old. His story's amazing. For those that don't know, Brett McMurphy of On3, Blake Toppenmeyer of USA Today, Brandon Marcello, our buddy from CBS Sports, all writing about the football coach born in Moscow in 1984. Don't know if he could get into our country today. He and his family came to our country in 1991. Him, his brother, his parents, his grandparents. 7 years old he was, did not speak one word of English. And now he's the hottest football coach and will be on everybody's short list coming in.
Well, look, South Florida is looking to become only the third team since the AP started a preseason poll in 1950 to open 3-0 versus 3 ranked teams.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, look, I don't foresee this. I didn't foresee them beating Florida. But, man, if they were to start 3-0.
Well, if they beat Miami and Napier continues to slide, it's going to be impossible to ignore him.
Yeah.
Just impossible to ignore him. And but I mean, even so, I don't know what other national jobs might come open. But you're right,
Miami.
If they beat Miami, I mean, it might be a fight to get them between Miami and Florida. But you're right, Jim. That just shows you just described it as the hottest name in college athletics, and that's going to only get hotter if they beat Miami.
But let's don't brush over the fact that here's one of the hot American college football coaches born in Moscow.
It's like Rocky Ford.
Not Moscow, Idaho, from Russia. He came over here. He was 7. He didn't speak English. He remembers living in Russia. He remembers tanks rolling down the street as the communist government.
You'll give me this. We've gotten better in society. I mean, our society's still dicked up on a lot of different things. But if this would have been in the 80s, people wouldn't have accepted this guy coming from Russia.
It would have been like the Americans when they found out they were spies.
Yeah, they just wouldn't have.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
I don't know if they would accept him now if he was coming over in 2025. He remembers, he tells Blake at USA Today, he remembers in Moscow the first McDonald's that he could get to, maybe the first one ever, opening in 1990. And he remembers standing in line to go to McDonald's and try out something he had only heard about.
Yeah.
He remembers that. So at age 41, a pretty interesting dude there, Alex Golich, as he gets this opportunity. He ranks last week as the win over Florida in the ballpark. He doesn't rate his favorite moments as a college coach, but he mentioned being offensive coordinator at Tennessee in 2022 when they beat Alabama in the same light as what happened last week for his team as a head coach beating Florida.
Well, I think most people, well, not most people, I think a lot of people by now have seen the video of the assistant coaches leaving the coaching booth, running to the elevator, celebrating with one another as they're running by the Florida assistant coaches that look like they're walking to their execution. I think when you see the reaction of that assistant coaching staff, you see probably what that also meant to Alex Golich, even though he may not play it up as much because he's the head coach. He's got to keep even kill. I think you saw the emotion in that staff, and you know how much it means to be the coach at South Florida, to walk into Ben Hill Griffin Stadium right there in your own state and get the win. And it's crazy to think of a Group 4 team that already has probably a game in hand. They can lose this Miami game, and they're still your lead team to be in the college football playoff. I mean, to have a game in hand as a Group 5 or Group 5 team, whatever it is now, whatever group it is now, to have a game in hand already is just insane to think about.
Look, and Byron Brown is a difference maker at quarterback, no doubt. But if I would have told you they beat Boise State in Florida in back-to-back weeks, and he's only got one passing touchdown, that would be surprising.
Yeah, it's wholly surprising, yes.
South Florida taking on Miami this week. It's one of the big games, 3:30 on CW. CW, which one is that here in town? Is that 68?
No, it's 21.
It was 21.
Yeah. It was 21.
ABM is 68.
Yeah, I think it's CW 21.
Okay.
Don't work for them anymore.
Boy, doesn't sound right. Forrester and Brooks, y'all used to work for that company. Which one is the CW?
It was 21.
It's 21. The channel called My 68 is channel 68.
There you go. That's right.
Which is ABM.
21. We need to program that for Lance this week? Will you be able to find that? Or
well, I mean, it will pop up more than likely as one of the. I mean, we've also got games on Max, right?
Whoa.
It's on
what?
HBO. Yeah.
Who's
HBO
playing
Max.
on HBO?
We got somebody on HBO this week.
Yeah, TNT is.
I'll tell you who we got on HBO.
TNT is Texas State, Arizona State, late night. That's a game that's been popping up on Max as well.
Oh,
HBO
that's
Max.
why it's on Max, because it's where you stream it.
Yeah,
if it's TNT, you stream it on Max. Okay. But to say, I didn't know we were playing games on HBO.
Yeah, we got Peacock only games, including number 1 Ohio State this week. Ohio State. Got to go to Peacock for that. You can check out the sheet we send out every week right there at Next Round Live. Show being brought to you by our friends at CPAP Plus as we jump into what has been a controversial vote in the AP and some reaction to that. Tell us about CPAP.
Hey, one of the most important things for your health is a great night's sleep. Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP from our friends at CPAP Plus. 5 locations throughout Alabama. Woody, Joe O'Neill, great guys. Tell them the next round sent you. Birmingham, Trussville, Pelham, Foley, Troy. If you're getting the sleep study done, you don't want to deal with the lab, you don't want to deal with the insurance. Guess what? No lab, no insurance, just $199 home sleep test. You can get information, go to sleephomealabama.com. No lab, just easy to wear fingertip devices, clinically validated that connect to your smartphone, complete with the physician's interpretation of your results. Again, for more information, Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP, sleephomealabama.com.
I'm socially awkward, and it gets worse the older I get. When I was the AP poll voter, I would, I cannot tell you how many times I double-checked my ballot before I would send it in. Brown, did you experience this at all when you were the voter?
Oh, yeah. My fear was not as much doing what happened here. My fear was leaving a team out I shouldn't have left out, or putting a team. Now, if you put a team in twice, they're going to call you and say, hey, you got so-and-so in twice. Because I don't know how you did it at the time. I emailed mine in. Is that how you did yours?
That's how I did mine,
So I
too.
would have to type 1 through 25. So what I would do every week, I was to take my old 25, cut and paste it, and then start moving. And when you start doing it that way, there's a chance you could leave somebody out, or there's a chance you can have a team in there twice, which means you've left somebody out. So it was absolutely my fear to screw something up like this. I took my vote very seriously.
I took my vote very seriously, too. Haley Sawyer is a college football reporter for the Southern California News Group, and she did this interview with USCHoops.com. This past week, she moved Florida from 16 up to 14 in her AP poll vote after they lost to South Florida. From 16, move up 2 spots after the loss to South Florida. Here's Haley Sawyer explaining a little bit of her approach to this.
But as far as what my votes are and what my process is, I wake up early in the morning after covering a game late in the night before. Don't want to go too much into my process or logic, but I will say I appreciate everybody's interaction on social media and all of your feedback. There's tons of people that vote on the AP poll, and it's not a perfect system, but at the end of the day, no matter who you pick, it does even out because there's so many people who vote. And like I said, it's really fun for discussion. It doesn't probably matter in the end, but I'm glad that people are having a really good time.
It does matter, and the process and logic aren't there. And the unfortunate thing is there's a lot of women that would like to have this vote. And people are going to look at this, and they're going to discredit her, and they're going to immediately go to, woman doesn't need to be voting.
You're absolutely right.
And what she needs to do is be more serious about this. And you can't, if you admit a team, that looks bad. But if you move a team up after they lose as a 17.5-point favorite at home, that's just unacceptable. She doesn't need to have a vote.
Well, first of all, AP vote, if the AP let me do this, and the AP poll means less now than it's ever meant, and it means less when you have voters that say things like she said. We have a ton of votes, so my bad vote gets outweighed by the ton of. Well, you got 63, is it now?
63 to 65.
So it's really not a ton of votes, but anyway, that's a dumb way of approaching it. Is even if I screw up, there's enough balance to balance it out.
Yeah, officially there are now 65.
65, okay. Yep. So that's number one. So that was a dumb statement. It doesn't matter. I'm sure the AP loves hearing you say ultimately this poll doesn't matter. They put it out every week. They'd kind of want it to matter, I think. But ultimately, if I were running the Associated Press poll, I wouldn't ask voters to vote who cover a specific team every week. That's the worst people to vote. Because if I cover Alabama or Auburn, I get to that stadium minimum 3 hours before kick, would you think, Dunaway, if I'm a writer?
Not everybody, but
2
I
hours?
do. Yeah, 3 hours. Yeah.
Well, I think most of those writers do because they like to look and see who's dressed out, who's not, who's warming up with certain specific team groups. So they're 2 hours before a game. The game is going to take 3 hours. They're a good hour after the game getting quotes and stuff like that. Then they're writing their story for probably another 2 hours. When are they actually watching games? They're not. They're watching the game they cover. They're somewhat familiar with what's going on, but they're not watching the game. So people, men or women that cover a specific team should never vote in the Associated Press poll. That's a dumb person to ask. It needs to be people that are able to watch all the games and take it in and make educated opinions based on the games you've watched. So it's a dumb setup from the beginning, and it leads to stuff like this. I guarantee you she had no clue what happened in the Florida-South Florida game. She had no clue. She assumed probably Florida beat South Florida. She probably scanned the scores and thought she saw that Florida won.
Yeah, I mean,
so
she was more than likely. I mean, she is a USC reporter. She's there watching Georgia Southern and USC.
That's right, and had no clue.
And trust me, around that campus, you can't get any other game on.
Yeah, it's a
promise you.
Lakers preseason game on or something.
She's from Pennsylvania, by the way, and obviously taking a lot of heat nationally here. We'll see if the AP takes her vote away or whatever she does. She probably becomes the best voter out there from this point forward.
Well, I would hope she's paying more attention. It's kind of like Bray Hubbard. You get caught loafing and you play with your hair on fire. So she gets caught screwing up. But I'm with you. If I'm the Associated Press, I mean, you've just done an interview saying it doesn't really matter and, we got enough voters to get away. If I'm the AP, I call her today. It's like, hey, I appreciate you being willing to do this. We're going to take it away and give it to somebody else.
She basically lost her vote with that interview.
I would have done that and I don't even know who runs anymore. A guy, Ralph Russo used to, but he's with The Athletic now.
Yeah.
I don't know who runs the AP poll. I thought we talked about, you said his name the other day.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I don't remember. It doesn't matter, though, when it comes to who makes the college football playoffs, but it does set a perception out there on who the good teams are in the Associated Press poll, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it does matter as far as the public perception, which I think influences the 13 individuals who are on the committee.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you look at the first ranking they put out, oddly enough, it's got pretty much the same teams the Associated Press poll has in it. They might be in a slightly different order, but a lot of times they're pretty dang close to what the AP poll or the coaches poll has.
Yeah, look, and Auburn's ranked in one, and they're not ranked in the other. They're ranked in the AP, and the fact of the matter is Florida fell completely out of the poll, which they should have fallen out of the poll.
I would say this. The longer Florida State stays in the top 10 and the higher they go, better I feel about that Alabama game.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me the AP poll doesn't matter, but Alabama losing at Florida State, it feels a little bit better seeing Florida State 10th.
I don't
think a single number next
that
to
number keeps getting smaller.
But
I'm going to feel better about that loss as the season goes on.
So FSU doesn't play this week, but then they get Kent State, and they can name their score, obviously, again, against Kent State. Then it gets a little more real when you got to go to Virginia, a team that ended up blowing a lead against NC State and losing on the road.
But then
you got Miami.
That's it.
And Pittsburgh might end up being pretty good.
And that Miami game's in Tallahassee. So you let them beat Miami, who's top 5 right now, assuming they can beat South Florida this weekend and Florida after that. You let them beat Miami Dunaway, and that number is going to get really small next to their name.
You look at Florida State's schedule now, and again, we're only 2 weeks in, but I could see a path to an undefeated Florida State team. I know that sounds crazy coming off. If you went undefeated, 2 wins, undefeated, that is the most inconsistent 3 years we've seen in the history of college football.
They don't play Clemson, right?
They play at Clemson.
At Clemson? So you still see them undefeated? I know Clemson does not look good.
I mean, who would you guys take right now, Florida State, Clemson?
Florida State.
I mean, Florida State's look like the better team.
Okay, I think.
I mean, I would take Clemson just because they're at home.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't feel great about it.
Again, I think Clemson and Georgia are about to play 2 of their best games in a long time this weekend.
So you think Clemson just walks Georgia Tech off the field?
Not necessarily walks Georgia Tech off the field. I mean, the point spread says they're fairly even teams in Atlanta. I think Clemson will look better than they've looked against LSU or Troy against Georgia Tech, and they'll win the game by double digits. I think Georgia will do the same thing to Tennessee. It's as soon as you start doubting these teams, you realize,
but I'm kind of to the point where we talk about the entirety of the SEC looks like the NFL. I think the top parts of Big 12, ACC, you're getting the talent is coming a lot closer. Our man Brock Hewitt on Unlocked on Monday said, got a feeling Georgia Tech and Clemson's going to overtime.
Oh, he says the exact opposite of what I just said, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, I think Georgia Tech, the talent is a lot closer than it used to be with Clemson.
He's projecting overtime?
Yeah. That's a big projection.
It's a weird projection. I'm not going to project a winner. I'm just going to say overtime.
Yeah, overtime. So not a 1-point win or loss.
Well, he said, I ultimately think Clemson wins the game, but I think it's going to be so tight. I feel like we're going to get overtime.
I think that might be the hardest thing to predict, though, right? Is overtime.
Yeah,
it's easier to predict a winner than overtime.
I mean, other than a 0-0 draw in soccer, that's a pretty easy prediction. But ties in football, tough prediction.
But you know what's going to be funny if it happens and everybody's like, damn.
Yeah, Brock predicted this. He called overtime.
4 downs. Before we get to 4 downs, Brownie, tell us, if you would, about our friends right there at Breakline.
Yeah, BreaklineOptics.com. They give you the great sunglasses. Like I've got right here, Jim. You can wear them to stadiums in high school.
How fast was I going, officer? I thought I was doing 55.
Sir, if you'll back that tone down and just give me your proof of insurance and your registration. Do you have that?
No, of course.
Sir, could you roll the window down? I can't hear you, sir. Roll the window. You've seen those guys on TikTok. I'm not rolling the window down. Anyway, Breakline Optics.
That's not my TikTok algorithm.
I hate those things. BreaklineOptics.com. BreaklineOptics.com is where you find their sunglasses. These things are built to last. Not only do they look great, and no, I don't look like a state trooper wearing these. Not only do they look great, they are built to last. We have gone out in the parking lot behind our building and hammered these lenses with a rubber mallet. You cannot break them. We've tried it. You can't. They are built to last. That's what they stand by, how they stand behind their product, Breakline Optics. And right now, you can save 30% using code TNR30 at BreaklineOptics.com. BreaklineOptics.com, code TNR30 saves you 30%. This is a Birmingham, Alabama company that's doing business nationwide, so you're buying local when you buy from Breakline Optics. BreaklineOptics.com, code TNR30 at BreaklineOptics.com to save 30%.
All right, let's do our
First
four
down.
Okay, after first couple of weeks here, can you guys give me one team that was in the playoffs last year that you can guarantee will not be in the playoffs this year?
Oh, will not be. Thought you were going to. I was a little worried you're going to ask me to guarantee one that will be. It's been that kind of first 2 weeks.
No. So let me take this back. NFL week 1.
Oh, NFL.
Okay, NFL.
Yeah.
I was going to say
I was
SMU.
gonna-
That's an easy answer. Boise. NFL, after 1 week, a team that was
in the postseason.
Was in the postseason.
That will not be in the postseason this year.
Dunaway, you hinted at Kansas City yesterday. Did you not? Am I wrong about that?
I mean, they could miss the playoffs.
Do you think Detroit would be the most popular play here?
I think so.
Yeah,
That
I'm
was not
trying
a
to
good
remember all the
performance in Green Bay.
playoff teams.
So, I mean, Detroit would be in the mix here. I think the Texans would be in the mix because the South probably just gets one.
Yeah, but I mean, you still think it's going to be the Texans, right?
I think it's going to be the Jags.
Do you?
Yeah. The Buccaneers are 4-9 favorites to win the South now after this past weekend.
Well, by all appearances,
what is 4-9?
It's a massive favorite, especially in the NFL. But I mean, it's going to be the Falcons or the Bucs.
I was about to say, by all appearances, you beat the second best team in your division on the road to open the season.
Yeah, and the whole division lost. So we have a total one-game lead over the whole division.
But much like the AFC East,
with
for,
only 16
Buffalo.
to play, so our magic number is 15.
I don't feel good about saying any of these right now.
Yeah,
Minnesota
Detroit.
after the first half, you would have said the Vikings,
I know,
right?
I know. Yeah, Detroit. They look like a team Sunday that had lost both their coordinators and a Hall of Fame or All-Pro center. They look like that team, so I'm going to say Detroit.
Yeah. Denver, maybe?
Maybe. I mean, if Bo Nix turns football over, as good as their defense is, they got no shot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
But I would probably go Detroit, but Denver, maybe.
Yeah.
Second down.
Joe Perry, former lead guitarist for Aerosmith, 75 years old today.
Yeah.
If I ask you ultimately better career, Joe Perry or Joe Burrow?
Side note real quick. Aerosmith's lead singer,
Steven Tyler?
Steven Tyler. I didn't think he could sing anymore.
I thought they had officially shut it down.
Yeah.
Are they back?
That's what he said. He's lost his range.
voice.
He came out and did with some doing the MTV Music Awards Sunday night in the tribute to Ozzy Osbourne.
It was auto-tune.
He came out did a duet with the guy who was singing all the Ozzy songs. He came out and did a duet and hit some notes.
Did the guy that was doing the Ozzy was good?
He was a young guy. I wish I knew who he was. If you watch it, you know who he was.
Scott says it was Youngblood.
Was it? Was it Youngblood?
I think so.
Yeah,
That
he
sounds
was
right.
allergic to a shirt. He didn't wear a shirt.
Oh.
Yeah.
That would be Youngblood.
Yeah. Okay. So it was Youngblood. But he was really good. Yeah. And then Steven Tyler came out and did a duet with him, and I was like, I think, Mama, I'm coming home.
I do think you're right about that. Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know Steven Tyler could still hit a note.
Do you think all the bandmates that are sitting back at home not working right now are like,
Yeah.
thought Steven couldn't sing anymore?
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to go solo at almost 80, though.
That's why I'm
Of
sitting
course,
here.
Tony
not
Bennett did it for a while, right?
But I mean, I know they were really singing because there was one part of the duet that
they missed.
Yeah, he missed. He missed.
Oh, okay. So it was obvious he lost his voice.
Here you go.
Is that Youngblood?
Is that Youngblood on the left?
That's Youngblood.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Joe Perry, by
He
the
was
way.
pretty good.
Oh,
Hey,
so-
there is Joe Perry. Yeah.
Speaking of.
Yeah, it was a great tribute, man. It was very emotional.
Youngblood's got Peter Schrager's eyeliner on.
Yep.
I got asked this morning, does he wear eyeliner? I was like, no.
No, he does not. He's just got them deep, dark set eyes.
Like our man Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go with that guy.
Joe Perry?
Yeah, Joe Perry.
The only thing I'll say about Joe Perry is he did not have a group of people that had to protect him from another group of people trying to kill him. Joe Burrow does, and that group is not very good. They are going to get him killed. That offensive line. I don't know how much of Cleveland and Cincinnati you watch. I watched more than I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm going to say his security team is both better than the offensive line in Cincinnati and the defense in Cincinnati.
Dunaway and I were on opposite sides of that game on the MyBookie pick, so I was paying attention to that game. Still offensive line issues for Cincinnati. They won the game by 1. They have got offensive line issues, so I'm going to go Joe Perry because of that.
Third down.
The big unit is 62 years old today. Can you? I mean, I knew he was a little older, but I thought he was in his late 50s maybe. Did you guys realize Randy Johnson's 62 years old?
Yes, so, but I mean, how long has it been since he pitched?
I guess it's been a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty old in 2001, right?
Yeah.
He's just always had that,
so 20
that mean
years?
face.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you, Randy Johnson or Randy Jackson?
That's a no for me, dog, Randy Jackson.
The guy that did, he was in Journey, has written a lot of songs, was a producer forever, and then was on American Idol for 15
Randy
20
Jackson was in Journey?
Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. I don't think anybody knew him from Journey. Nobody knew him till he started American Idol.
Yeah, he toured with Journey for like 3 or 4 years.
Well, he was the bassist, right?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I only knew it because of American Idol.
Yeah, very strange fit.
Yeah, I only knew it because of American Idol. Which is weird. I'd kind of like to know the backstory of how they selected.
Well, the first time I found out was when the dude, Paula Abdul, was trying to bang the kid that was on the show. I don't know if you remember this. But the kid did a Steve Perry solo.
Yep.
And behind the scenes, it was to win Randy Jackson over.
Right.
And that's when I found out the link between him and Journey.
I would say
a lot of drama on that American Idol set back in the day.
Yeah, I would say Big Unit, the better career.
I'm going to go Big Unit.
Yeah, I'll go Big Unit as well.
Fourth down.
Arnold Palmer would have been 96 years old today. If I asked you ultimately better career, Arnold Palmer or Morgan Wallen?
It's so hard because it's such a different genre.
It is. Arnold was an American icon, Dunaway. If people say golfers today should thank Tiger Woods for the money they're making, they used to say that about Arnold Palmer because he was the forerunner of Jack Nicklaus, and he and Nicklaus had a great rivalry. He was a tremendous businessman. Everything he touched turned to gold. And my dad was a huge Arnold Palmer fan because Arnold Palmer, my dad liked to play golf, but my dad came from a blue-collar background. My grandparents on my dad's side were factory workers, and my grandfather served in World War II in the Pacific, came home and worked in the factory. You know the old story, right? That's who they were. So my dad told me that a lot of people like him gravitated towards Arnold Palmer because he was the common man. He didn't come up in the country club and all that. He was the blue-collar golfer.
Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
That's right, Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
It's not my genre, but Morgan Wallen, biggest name in country music right now, right?
Probably so, yep.
He was a finalist for Album of the Year at the MTV Music Awards, so crossover, yeah.
Can you stay the fan favorite in country for 20 or 25 years?
Oh, I think you can stay a fan favorite in country longer than you can in
any other genre?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if he stays where he is right now for 20 or 25 years, I think it's Morgan Wallen.
Right now it's Palmer, but Wallen could be that guy based on the way you're talking right there.
Yeah, I would say that the Arnold Palmer fans are either gone or dying off.
Yep.
And Morgan Wallen fans are at an age that will make it appear that he is a lot more popular. So I'll go Morgan Wallen.
A lot of people are pointing out he's got a drink named after him. You got to be pretty big.
That was what I was going to bring up. What is the Morgan Wallen drink?
Oh, I'm sure there is
sell one at his bar. Remember, it's got the chair in it.
Oh, yeah.
Chair thing.
So
all right.
They both have a drink.
But he doesn't drink anymore.
Yep, that's right.
Fair enough.
Do we believe that?
I've heard.
I believe it right now. I don't know if you can sustain that. I mean, hopefully whatever he wants to do, that would be great.
Yeah.
But I just don't know going on the road with the pressures and the peer pressures, and I don't know. That would be really difficult.
Hard to kill at that much time when you're on the road without something to do.
Yeah, and only that staring at you.
He's got a lot to do, probably.
Yeah. That's what he's trying to avoid is what he has to do. Yes.
And that's 4 downs.
That's it.
All right. Show being brought to you in part by our friends at Twin Peaks as well, LT. Tell us about Twin Peaks.
Twin Peaks does happy hour, top shelf. Make sure you get into one of those great locations at Twin Peaks for lunch, for dinner. Great place to watch all of the games. They've got the NFL Sunday ticket. They've got the Major League Baseball extra inning package as well. And again, just a great place to unwind after work. I mentioned happy hour, stop in, whatever your preference. They've got everything from tequila cocktails, extensive bourbon category, to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over the ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails. Round out that adventurous drink menu, second to none. And don't forget about the 29 degree beer served by those Twin Peaks girls running around all over the place. Get in for lunch or dinner. It's Twin Peaks.
We will do our sneaky good game when we come back. Also, we'll talk about spitting in the NFL, and can Josh Heupel swallow another loss to Georgia? That's all coming up in the next segment of the show, being brought to you by our friends right there at the Pants Store, your game day headquarters at the Pants Store. Guys, it's time to get that Alabama and Auburn polo ready to go this weekend. Always fun to jump in with those guys and at the Pants Store. Great locations from Huntsville all the way down to Auburn, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham locations. And ladies, they've got the rompers and the white sneakers and the platform shoes, all that for you as well. You know it. You know the names, right? Cutter and Buck and Gentile and all the great name brands at the Pants Store. Jump in right now. But here's the cool part. You don't have to go to the Pants Store in person. If you're watching us anywhere in the world, they'll ship it to you. Pantstore.com, pantstore.com. Free alteration and gift wrapping as well. Get ready for game day this weekend. Home games for Bama and Auburn at the Pants Store, pantstore.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Yo, kinfolk, what's good, man? Let me holler at you for a minute. You know how life can be life. You're out there chasing that dollar. Every dollar is accounted for going somewhere. Then all of a sudden, bam! Out of nowhere, a car accident. All I had to do was hit up my people at Alexander Shinara Trial. You already know when that dude Alex pulls up the trial, he shuts down the litigation situation. Yo, go to Shinara.com. Hit him up at 659-777-7777.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation that legal services provided are better than any other provider.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-patted each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
I did graze tree service yesterday with a mistake, dead wood, but we'll drop another one here. I don't know what we messed up on today. We'll clean up dead wood for Haley Sawyer. How about that? For her AP vote.
Friends at Grace, from removal, trimming, health. Again, look, you care for your lawn, care for your trees too. I had 4 pines that we had to extract about a year and a half ago. Guys, John Mark and Grays, they came out and they knocked it out. Fantastic work for over 25 years right here in Birmingham. Family owned and operated, trusted by nearly every golf course in town. The Birmingham Zoo, no competition. Make the phone call today, 255. That's 205-255-1239. You can scan the QR code that Scott has put up there or just visit graystree.com.
We can clip a little dead wood for Jalen Carter. He avoids a suspension for spitting because the NFL rules that his ejection so early in that game on Thursday night is basically a 1-game suspension. So because of the timing of his spitting incident with Dak Prescott, Jalen Carter will be available for Kansas City coming up. He does get a $57,222 fine there, which I assume is about a game check for him.
Yeah, probably so, because he got the game check. Right. Even though he didn't play in the game, he got the game check because he was active.
Yeah. And then Philadelphia Eagle owner Drew Rosenhaus says they will not void any guarantees or try to recoup any of the signing bonus. Probably smart if you want to keep him long term.
Maybe the best defensive player in the game. Yeah.
You are a little surprised he didn't get the suspension, I think. You thought.
I just thought it was so, the NFL tries to get control of these things, and that was just. I mean, it was opening night in the NFL with the defending champions before the game really ever started.
Yeah, I mean, right there on TV, and it was the biggest story of the first half of that game.
Now, could it work the other way? You remember I brought it up.
I was wondering if you were going to say this.
It was going to be the big conspiracy theory. Of course, they're going to sit him against the Chiefs. Do you think the NFL looked at this and said, if we sit him against the Chiefs, it's going to look like we sat him against the Chiefs?
So you damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But does that make sense?
What you do,
you can't please all you conspiracy theorist people.
No, what you do is you play them against the Chiefs, and then you script a Chiefs win, so you get the best of both worlds. We don't look like we have a conspiracy, but we scripted the win. So
fair, but they have had to answer questions about this Chiefs situation.
It was going to look like it was a very convenient suspension. There's no doubt.
Boy, y'all's mind. I don't know how y'all watch sports these days. Before we do the spotlight, there are times you see things and you criticize it before you know the whole story. So before any of you criticize Josh Allen's hats this year, a pretty cool deal that Brown's least favorite NFL player is doing this year.
So good.
Josh Allen hats are actually designed by local kids and colored and marked up and all that there in the Buffalo area, and then auctioned off, and it raises money for Buffalo and the Children's Hospital there in the area. So when you see Josh's hats at games on the sidelines and such, that's why they look like that. Pretty cool deal from Josh Allen.
I am going to have to end up liking this guy because he does everything right. I mean, it's,
I would have assumed that too. I'm surprised you didn't let me comment on it, but I think it was too obvious. Because nobody likes me commenting. By the way, she's recovering from cancer.
Okay. Well, I mean, the guy just does so much right, and he's such an incredible
I stopped
player.
watching Hard Knocks because I didn't want to like it.
Oh, was he likable on there?
I mean, it was just for a minute, but all those guys, once you see the other side of them, you like them all.
You know what made me Dunaway almost turn, and now you're helping the case. But you know what made me almost turn was 2 straight days. Video went viral of him doing the handshake line of the fans outside of training camp. And the first day, it was kids from the Children's Hospital, and he recognized them.
Yep.
Like that said a lot about him. That you go visit
Tony.
a lot of
Hey,
kids.
Tony, how are you?
Yeah, I don't know if he called him by name, but he remembered who they were, and it was genuine. You could tell he remembered who they were, and he was asking about their progress and all that, which, look, a lot of players visit Children's Hospital. I get it, but I think that speaks a lot of his character. But then the next day one comes out where he's going down the handshake line shaking hands, and he sees 4 military members in their uniform, and he takes his hat off and shakes their hands. And I'm like, dadgummit. I don't want to like this guy, but that is high quality right there, man.
100%. All right, let's do our spotlight today. Sneaky good games. Hit it.
The College Football Spotlight.
This weekend's sneaky good game.
The Spotlight presented by our guy Alexander Shinara, the Shinara Spotlight. He is Birmingham born, Birmingham bred, and one thing he wanted to do was create a firm that handled any issue his community faced. Well, he has done that now. Shinara Trial Attorneys not only handle any personal injury claim, as you know, but also claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinara.com. Shinara.com.
Listen, I heard an interview yesterday with PJ Fleck of Minnesota.
I was going here too.
Were you really?
Yeah.
9:30, Gophers and Bears out at California. He talked about how they have been changing their body clock for the trip out there to play 9:30 ESPN, 9:30 Central. I don't really know how much you have to change your body clock to go from Minnesota to California.
I would think it's a little more for California going across the country and playing an 11 o'clock game for them. But you got 2 2-0s here.
Yep.
You got a true freshman quarterback for the Bears. I can't pronounce his name from Hawaii, but he's been sensational.
Yeah.
And then you got a redshirt freshman quarterback for the Gophers and Drake Lindsay.
Something like Pulalutula or
It's
Tule.
3 names.
I know about that,
it's Jiren, like Kiowee.
Yeah, I had it
and
written
then-
down for a couple of days.
Yeah, then good luck after that. But, I mean, they haven't, Mendoza was great last year for them, but they haven't really missed anything early on.
When people gave them up for dead in the offseason before they even played a game.
Justin Wilcox can coach.
Yeah. They actually think he may be better than Mendoza.
Yeah, I've heard
eventually.
that. Well, I mean, I think it's kind of like what people are talking about with Dante Moore at Oregon. Not right now in the moment, but ultimately.
And then Minnesota is Minnesota. PJ's a pretty good coach there. So I think, that's another one of those good games to just stay awake for at 9:30 when
I've got to read on this game, too. I feel good about this game.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You think Cal beats them, really?
Maybe.
Hey, but you mentioned...
Because Minnesota's the obvious pick.
Yeah. You mentioned body clock. Did you guys see that yesterday... the Big Ten announced, or 2 days ago, whatever it was, that USC-Michigan State game is going to be played at 8 o'clock Pacific time, a late Pacific kick, which is 11 o'clock Eastern time if you're a Michigan State fan living in your, state of Michigan there. 11 p.m. Eastern time Saturday night kick for a Michigan State-USC game. I mean, as a fan, that is terrible.
Yeah, that really is.
I have to wait all day, and then I have to stay up till 1, 2 in the morning to watch my team play.
Well, would it be great?
I don't know.
It depends on if you win or lose.
I would rather stay up late than get up for the London 8 a.m. game.
And by the way, I would agree with you on that. And by the way Michigan State has started, that might be a decent game right there, USC Michigan State. That's not a bad game.
I wasn't a Braves fan ever, but in their TBS Superstation days when they were in the National League West, I used to love the West Coast trip because I could do everything I was normally doing, and then when I would get home from late local or college out on the bar or be at a bar, and all of a sudden you've got baseball with the Braves playing on Superstation until the wee hours of the morning. That was great. So I think it'd be something cool to be able to watch all your college football games all day long and then almost a standalone late night game for your favorite team.
That's
that
why like the Pacific clock to me sucks. Like, if you're in Vegas, it's so much fun being in a sports book during the regular season of the NFL and college football. But at 10 o'clock, you're like, damn, there's nothing going on.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, there is.
No, there's plenty.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about if you want to watch football,
Yeah,
there's
but
not.
and see, when I'm in Vegas on Guys Trip, that's perfect because all day long I get the sports, and then at 10, we can still go lose a few $100 more on craps.
This is a game I've got, my sneaky good game, that could impact the college football playoff. And let me explain why. It involves a team that could be in the playoffs or spoiler to the playoffs, and a team that is maybe off to a better start than we would have guessed. It is Memphis at Troy. Memphis at Troy. First of all, just as far as the game goes, Memphis is only a 4-point favorite down in Troy, a total of 51 in this game. 11 o'clock ESPNU if you want to watch that. 11 a.m., not p.m. We were just talking a p.m. game.
Opened at least at 6.5.
Yeah, all the way down to 4.
Might end up being a dick whipping.
Lance has said when it drops like that.
I'm just saying, like Memphis, everybody's like, damn, they were lucky to survive. Troy was up 16 on Clemson.
The reason I say it could have playoff implications is Memphis still plays South Florida, and if Memphis wins the American, there's a chance if they beat South Florida, they could be your playoff team. Or if South Florida does indeed have a game in hand after they lose to Miami, if Memphis beats them, that could knock South Florida out. So this Memphis team is a team to watch. Tough, according to some, battle for them down at Troy this weekend where they're only 4-point favorites.
Did anybody on the show have Memphis in the playoffs?
You did.
I did, yeah. So
that's why I wondered why you had not gone with this game.
Well, it was my second choice. I just found the Gophers and the Bears more interesting because I heard that interview yesterday on Sirius XM with PJ talking about all the stuff that he had done to get the team's body clock right.
Does he come off likable? Who interviewed him? Do you remember?
He was on their midday show, and they rotate people through so much. I don't know who was interviewing him, but
did he come off likable? Because he's a guy I struggle to like.
Yeah, he did. He's better in person than he is.
Like I'm coming around a little bit on Drinkwitz. I'm coming around a little bit on him. I've never liked that guy, but I'm starting to respect his coaching more and more.
I think Drinkwitz and PJ Fleck are guys that you're not going to like unless they're your guy.
Yeah.
It's much like Dabo. I don't think anybody likes Dabo unless
he's your coach. Yeah.
That's our spotlight today. Our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa gets us into a key matchup. Does Josh Heupel need to just relax with a nice massage at Woodhouse before he battles Kirby Smart again this weekend?
The Woodhouse Day Spa, look, you know the weekend routine. We talked about being on the couch all weekend long, Saturdays, Sundays. You want to take care of the wife or girlfriend, show them you care about them. Send them to the Woodhouse Day Spa. They're going to absolutely love it. Located Summit Shopping Centers right off of Highway 280. They can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including the waxing, the skincare, the nail services, body treatments, massages. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Order that special person gift online 24/7, birmingham.woodhousespas.com. Gift card, simple solution. Buy them 24/7 online, birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
Biggest game in the SEC this weekend is Georgia at Tennessee. Kirby Smart here gets asked about, now all these losses aren't on Josh Heupel, but it's 8 straight for Georgia. What's been the key, Kirby Smart?
Kirby, Tennessee's had good teams in recent years, beat Alabama a couple of times. Georgia's won 8 straight against them. What do you attribute that success to?
Well, they've been really good games, right? When you play in the SEC and you're in these really tough top 10 matchups, top 25 matchups, they can go either way a lot of times. You know, at the end of the day, they played us physical. We've played them physical. They've all been really, really tough physical games. I mean, I think being at home usually helps either team in terms of a road versus home. But I don't know that you can attribute it to anything because this year has nothing to do with previous years.
Yeah. So I always feel comfortable leaving at halftime of games. But there are sometimes it bites you in the ass. And the only time Kirby has ever lost to Tennessee, I wasn't there to witness it because I left at halftime. I was in Athens. It was 2016. He's 8-1 against Tennessee. But you guys remember the game. I've told you I was at a bar. DirecTV goes down so nobody can see it. One guy's holding his phone. Tennessee fan starts going nuts. And it's when Josh Dobbs hit Jawan Jennings 48 yards with no time left
Butch
to beat
Jones gets a win.
Yeah, back in 2016. But that's how long ago it's been.
Yeah.
I mean, Kirby has dominated this series.
And he's being diplomatic there, calling these good games. They're not.
They've all been decided by 14
They've
plus.
all been. Listen to these numbers, Dunaway, in this stretch: 41-0, 38-12, 43-14, 44-21, 41-17, 27-13, 38-10, 31-17. 27-13 is the closest game in that 8-game stretch. I mean, Kirby's being very diplomatic and saying what you have to say as a coach. I get that. But those have not been good games. Tennessee has not been particularly close to beating Georgia since the game Lance just referenced right there. It has been a beatdown on top of a beatdown.
Gunnar Stockton, this may be definitely his first big test this year. He's on the road at Tennessee. We saw him come in for the injured Carson Beck last year for the playoffs. So here we go with Gunnar Stockton, what Josh Heupel sees in defending the Georgia quarterback.
He's played really well. You look at him this year, he's taking great care of the football. He's been accurate with it. He's got the ability to be extremely mobile and extend and create plays on his own. You got to do a great job of applying pressure but still bottling him up inside of the pocket, not letting him get outside of it. If they choose, he certainly can be a part of the quarterback run game as well and try to tilt the numbers. So huge test for us defensively. Communication will be important, all the shift trade motion before the snap of the football as well. We got to be at our best.
Maybe too protective of the football. In fact, if you look at the numbers, Mike Bobo and Gunnar Stockton, what they're putting on tape, last week of his 26 passes, 14 of them were screen passes. 14 of 26 were screened. 4 more were 5 yards or less. So 18 of 26 were screens or less than 5-yard passes. They're not really letting him sling the biscuit around the yard.
Yeah, and I wonder if this was set up for what they're going into against Tennessee, because he's averaging 5.3 yards per attempt, which is 130th right now in the FBS. And Zachariah Branch hasn't gotten the touches. You paid a lot of money to bring him from USC. You wonder if this is a Zachariah game, if guys like Noah Thomas, Dylan Bell, you start trying to stretch the field with these guys.
They've kept it all under wraps until this one.
Let me add some context from Connor O'Gara to your stat there, Dunaway. What was your stat again?
So you don't repeat it.
No, I'm not repeating it. I'm just allowing you to set it up, Jim, so I can add context.
Of his 26 this past week, 14 of 26 were screen passes. 4 were 5 yards or less. I may have gotten it from Connor O'Gara's story at Saturday Down South.
Well, through 2 games, Connor points out at CJ O'Gara on social media, second highest percentage of throws behind the line of scrimmage in Power 5 among Power 4 quarterbacks is Gunnar Stockton. 31% of his throws are behind the line of scrimmage. 31%, second highest percentage. And this is equally as alarming. 1 of 5 on throws 20 yards past the line of scrimmage. He is struggling to push the ball down the field, which is leading to the statistics that we just gave right there. It's a dink and dunk offense right now for Georgia in the passing game, and I just don't know if that's going to hold up in SEC play.
One more thing before we get to the top of the hour. Show being brought to you by our friends at New York Butcher Shop. Great place to get going for the weekend. Grilling out. The weather's perfect as long as you want to be outside. You don't grill when it's 90. But by the time you throw the fire the grill up and get that grill going, it's usually a pretty cool afternoon breeze going. I almost fell asleep on the golf course yesterday. That's how good the weather was.
I was watching TV on the screen in last night, and I'm starting, because we did this last Thursday, picking up steaks at the New York Butcher Shop. I think it's going to be a Thursday thing moving forward with football. Pick up a couple of steaks, the great sides, fantastic salads made fresh right there in-house. 2 locations for you. Cabo Heights, the original, Highway 119 in Greystone. Get and see Jim, that incredible staff of butchers, one-stop dinner shop, rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
All right. More college football coming up in just a second. But if I ask you, you sort of touched on teams that were in the playoffs that were not going to make the playoffs. In the NFL, after 1 week, give me your biggest surprise team that was a riser, that maybe surprised you more in a good way, and your biggest surprise team that surprised you in a bad way from week 1. So just a team that ended up being, they looked better than I thought they were going to look, and that team looked worse than I thought they were going to look. And we all know it's one game, it's an overreaction, but give me that team.
Okay, I'm going to give you one that lost in the Jets, because for the Jets to score 32 points, I just can't remember that in my lifetime. And doing it against a Pittsburgh team, and Breece Hall looked like the running back we believed he was going to be after his rookie season coming out of Iowa State.
So even a loss, you put that in a positive category.
Because I think you've got a dominant receiver in Garrett Wilson that just hasn't been unleashed because he hadn't had the quarterback play. If Justin Fields can play at that level, I think the Jets could be a sneaky 9-win, maybe 10-win team. I know that sounds crazy. In a loss, it's got to be Detroit. the play calling looked completely different. Obviously, Ben Johnson is on to Chicago now. Aaron Glenn is on to the Jets that we talked about. I thought the Lions, and look, Green Bay's going to be really good, but the Lions weren't even competitive.
Yeah, and they struggled to get the ball to their big playmakers.
And they've got so many of them.
They struggle to get the ball to them.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamison Williams, who you talked about on Monday, got the big contract. Jahmyr Gibbs. You've got so many weapons on that offense, you got to find ways to get it to them.
I thought Green Bay was going to win their division, but they looked even better.
Well, the defense.
Than I thought they were going to look.
Yeah, that defense, even with Micah Parsons, I thought that, let me say it this way. They are even better than I thought they would be having added Micah Parsons. Like, that defense is really, really good. When you get Micah Parsons into full 3-down shape and he's playing the whole game, holy crap, how good could that be?
You know what's been a popular theory is the team that's going to take steps back, the Commanders. They played the Giants, so you really didn't get to see anything there. They win 21-16. But what's going to be interesting tomorrow night, everybody's talking about Packers. Now the Commanders come into Lambeau, where Green Bay's only a 3.5-point favorite. Look at this as we talk about it.
Everybody's picking the Packers.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
That's going to be fascinating.
So you say watch the Commanders Thursday night.
Yeah. Look, I think Green Bay's going to be really good, too. I think they're a better team than the Washington Commanders. I think you can make an argument Green Bay has a top 3 defense right now in the NFL. But tomorrow night will be interesting.
Real quick on that, I'd like to know the record of teams that have to travel for Thursday night games. There's got to be an impact on you there. Now, you never
I'll
have
see if
to,
I can find that for you.
You never have to travel after a road game. I think the NFL protects
positive
that
impact on the other side, getting the longer week, but negative impact.
But if I play on a Sunday and have to travel for a Thursday, that's got to have an impact on you. That is such short prep and just a quick turnaround. I've got to go for a half of football here, but Minnesota better in the second half than I thought they were going to be. And for my disappointment, Carolina was a team a lot of people talked about could contend for your division there. And boy, they looked awful in week 1 against Jacksonville.
Or even the Bears. Like, I know Minnesota was a really good 14-win team last year, but for the Bears to blow that lead at home.
And didn't they only score 10 on offense?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had the pick six. I think you got 17 on offense.
Because they drove late. Yeah, 17.
Yeah. But the expectation was, hey, man, this Bears team's really going to pop in year 2 with Caleb Williams and now Ben Johnson coming in.
I didn't want to pile on
Miami,
Andrew and Denver while Andrew was here, but Denver didn't hit the ground running like I thought they were going to hit the ground running.
I mean, Tennessee had every opportunity. I don't know if y'all watched a lot of that. They had every opportunity to win that game, and they were almost equally as inept as what Denver ended up being in that game.
If I tell you Denver starts 0-4, does it surprise you?
Give me their next 3. It doesn't. But
at the Colts, I was very impressed with the Colts. I really was.
Don't be Miami's defense. Miami's secondary is the worst secondary in the NFL already, and then they played even worse than that. So I would tap the brakes on Danny Dimes and the Colts.
I think the Colts win that game at the Chargers after that.
Oh, yeah, that's a really tough
Then you've got Burrow and the Bengals. Then you got to go to the Eagles.
Again, I'm telling you, man, that offensive line in front of Burrow is going to cost them.
So that would actually be an 0-5 start.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
And then you're done.
Yeah.
By the way, I still refer to Denver Stadium as their new Mile High Stadium. I forget the name of it.
It used to be Invesco. I don't know if it still is.
Probably is.
Yeah.
You know what the first day they opened that was? The night before 9/11.
Was it really?
Yeah, so it's been 24 years.
Yeah, it was 2001, 24 years. Yeah. So it's time for a new stadium, obviously. Denver announces yesterday they are breaking ground on their new stadium in the historic Burnham Yard area that will open in 2031. They played at Mile High Stadium from 1960 to 2000. They opened this one in 2001, and by the time 30 years will be the run of this whole new stadium. And then they will tear it down or do whatever they're going to do with it and have a new stadium built there. These NFL stadiums, the third iteration of these NFL stadiums, because they built new ones since the league really took off on television, they don't last very long. And I assume they're going to build this one off of the SoFi footprint that everyone else is
I was going to
doing.
bring up SoFi because they brought it up, and I think it was Trent Green or Kevin Harlan. One of the two said it on Sunday. This is by far the best stadium in the NFL right now. So that one's got to last for a little bit, right? You spend $3 billion on it.
You would hope, yeah. Retractable roof I saw on this one. So it's not entirely like SoFi. That's not retractable. It's open air with a roof. But retractable roof, I guess, similar to Minnesota. So, I mean,
it's a great fan base in Denver.
Oh, it is a great fan base. But at some point, like these cold weather teams, how many are ever going to I mean, I think Green Bay will play outside forever. I don't think there's ever a time where Green Bay will go.
I think Chicago will too.
Well, no, I thought they were talking about that new stadium being retractable, the new one they're building. I thought they were talking about that.
Because they want to be able to host the Final Four and things like that.
So I think Chicago now, they may choose to leave it open in football, but I think it's going to have a retractable roof.
Now, if you're a fan, though, what do you want?
I kind of want the retractable roof.
Yeah, like if I'm sitting in that stadium, like I want my home field advantage, but I also want my comfort.
That's right. I mean, that's got to be miserable sitting in some of those games.
But Buffalo's new stadium that's opening next year.
It's not retractable, but it's a lot of covered seating.
Yeah.
And I think it's designed to maybe minimize some of the snow situations they get, but I don't know that entirely. But it's covered. I think the seating is entirely covered. It will have a whole, like the old Cowboy Stadium, if I remember correctly.
Different world now in the NFL. So about 25, 30-year run on stadiums, if you're lucky. And I would imagine some of that's taxpayer money. I don't see any of these guys ponying up all of their money.
Nope, they don't have to because they know that as soon as you roll out, the fans are like, okay, we'll vote on that.
Yeah. Our friends at Hemphill gets us to the final hour of the show, heating, cooling. But I always tell you, 24 hours, 7 days a week, emergency call.
Yeah, again, I got a call yesterday. Hey, man, can you hook me up with your friends at Hemphill? AC's out. Over 80 degrees in my house right now. Whether you experience any of the plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Catch up on all of today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guy. Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place, nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt, you can look your best by shopping with us at nextround.store. Take the Next Round anywhere with nextround.store. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Get all your favorite Next Round gear all in one place. Nextround.store. From our Next Round hats to the logo tees to the all-time best-selling Y'all Can Have the Rest shirt. You can look your best by shopping with us at Nextround.store. Take the next round anywhere with Nextround.store.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459 exit 31 Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, this hour brought to you always by our friends at Champy's, world-famous fried chicken. Before we reset Alabama and Auburn, give you our tender moment of the day and more college football this segment, I want to tell you about Champy's Chicken, where you can go down there and yell, "Roll Tide and War Eagle" all you want, especially during happy hour. Sterling will even yell back at you after he's brined that chicken overnight and cooked to order for you, piping hot. As I always tell you, I love the 2 big breasts, juicy to the bone, that you get there, all the white meat you want, plus the in-house made sides that go with that, desserts, the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. Easy to go. Just jump on champyschicken.com, champyschicken.com, and go to their to-go window. Did that many, many times, rolling through Alabaster. And always call ahead and set up a tailgate package. You pick up a big platter of those hand-cut chicken fingers or whatever and take them to Bryant Denny or Jordan Hare to your favorite high school game. Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. All right, let's talk a little bit here about what's going on in college football financially quickly, because this is a big talk out of season. But eventually we're going to have SEC expansion again. That'll come up at some point. I don't know when. And I always pictured North Carolina being a Big Ten school. I don't know why, but
I think it was their perceived
the academics,
which is funny because they had one of the bigger academic scandals.
Butch Jones? No, Butch Davis.
Butch Davis in college sports history, really.
But yesterday showed me a light that I think if the SEC sticks to their guns, that will make the SEC more attractive to a place like North Carolina, and for a school like North Carolina, over the Big Ten. Ohio State's president, Ted Carter, says yesterday that they have bylaws that the newcomers to the Big Ten, you've seen it, they're not all getting the rev share equally. But he then hints that it's not up to Ted Carter, but if you just look at who has the biggest ratings in the Big Ten TV games and everything, basically he was hinting that there's a chance down the road that the Big Ten is going to get away from the rev share model that the SEC is, where we share 16 equally in the Southeastern Conference, which I think is vital to keeping a conference strong top to bottom. Ted Carter, the president of Ohio State, was hinting that there are just a few names in the Big Ten. We know this to be true, but he shouldn't be saying this stuff out loud. That there are a few brands in the Big Ten that carry the television package, and there are other players that are getting equal share of the revenue like the Ohio States. And he was hinting that sooner rather than later, they're going to have a rev share discussion in the Big Ten. And I think as long as the SEC sticks to their equal share model, it will always make it a stronger conference.
I agree. I think there's something to it. Now, I remember Steve Spurrier saying things about, like, how in the hell is Vanderbilt getting as much as Florida? But, I mean, it does seem ridiculous that Rutgers and Northwestern are getting as much as Ohio State.
I don't know if Rutgers is. They're a newer member, but I think they are.
Yeah, I thought the only ones that weren't were like those Pac-12 that, like
Washington
and UCLA.
Washington, Oregon.
Maybe. Anyway, I think the reason Rutgers and Northwestern is they believe those media markets are important. I've always thought that seems so overvalued. Like, you've done a football Saturday in New York City. Is anybody paying attention to Rutgers?
No, and I remember doing a regular Saturday in early August when Street and Smiths came out. And I remember a Rutgers quarterback being on the cover, and I'm like, ain't nobody going to pick this up. Like, I agree with you. Those cities like Chicago loves football, and they'll love going to a sports bar, but they don't give a shit about Northwestern.
Well, I mean, Northwestern is going to be playing Oregon on the Fox Big Noon kickoff in a makeshift stadium. Now, they're getting a new stadium. I get it. But my point is, like if Alabama or Auburn or Tennessee or Florida or Georgia, whoever, had to rebuild a stadium, they couldn't play in a high school makeshift stadium like Northwestern is. I mean, they just don't have the fan support. Now, when that stadium, by the way, gets done, that is going to be the most expensive college football stadium in America. Now, that's a bit misleading.
Well, from that Big Ten money.
Well, I know, but college football isn't like the NFL where everybody's just building expensive stadiums. You've built these stadiums over 100 years. So everybody's like, Northwestern's going to be playing in the most expensive stadium in college football. Well, yeah, they built it from scratch. There's, Bryant Denny and Jordan Hare and Neyland Stadium didn't build from scratch. They built, and then they've added on and added on and added on and added on. So that's a little misleading what they said about Northwestern.
Back to the question, do you think it should be split evenly to make the strength of a conference?
I do, and because I think I've seen it the other way. Like, I've seen what it did to the Big 12 when they were like, Texas and Oklahoma do kind of carry this conference. Well, they carried it right out the door and went to the SEC.
And everybody resented Texas and Oklahoma.
There's no doubt. And you let Florida State and Clemson do that to the ACC and maybe Miami, which is the setup they've got now, where the more TV revenue the more TV numbers you bring in, the more revenue you get, and see what it does to that conference.
Yeah,
I mean, they'll start to, like Lance said, they'll start to hate Clemson and Florida State, and it'll just create more and more division in that conference.
By the example they were just talking about in the ACC, the model they're working with this year, off of your television rating at the end of the year is how you're going to get some of the revenue distribution. And so far, if you're paying attention, big games in the ACC, LSU, Clemson, prime time, drew a lot of eyeballs, over 10 million. Alabama, Florida State.
That was the second most watched game.
A lot of eyeballs. Yep. And Miami, Notre Dame, a lot of eyeballs. And all three of those were in what stadium on what TV package? ACC.
Yeah.
So right now, that little meter over there on revenue share, it's clicking like at the gas station for Clemson, Miami, and Florida State. Meanwhile,
I don't know if Miami's that big of a draw. Are they? I mean, I think it was more Notre Dame, right?
Well, I mean, let's do this real quick.
But it was a big game.
Let's do this real quick.
Oh, yeah.
The most watched game Saturday, do you guys think it will be Georgia, Tennessee in the 2:30, Texas A&M, Notre Dame in the prime?
I think the most watched game this weekend will be probably Texas A&M, Notre Dame in prime time.
And Georgia, Tennessee's probably second, right?
And then third's probably Florida, LSU.
Florida, LSU's probably third.
Yep.
Wisconsin, Alabama.
It's going to be pretty high because it's ABC and it's at 11 o'clock.
It's Alabama.
And it's Alabama, yeah.
People will tune in to see if they're losing.
And I'm getting to a point here. I don't think Fox Big Noon's going to get a great number because it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yep.
Clemson, Georgia Tech, if that's a close game on ESPN, it'll get a good number.
Yep. But South Florida, Miami.
There's where I'm getting. That's an ACC package CW game.
Yeah, but that's hard to find people
just aren't used to going to the CW for college football. So where's Miami on? Oh, it's on ESPN. No, can't find it there.
Baylor SMU this past week, they were bragging about it having over 1 million views.
And it might have been the best game all day Saturday.
Oh, it was incredible.
It was an incredible game.
Probably second best.
Behind
that Boston College Michigan State was an entertaining football
game. Very entertaining. Did you watch a lot of Baylor's SMU though? That was such a fun game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Every time Kevin Jennings would pull down and run, I would think about you saying he's not a willing runner. I kind of agree with that way, but he's running a lot this game.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
I don't think he's a great passer.
Yeah, you did say that over the summer, but you were talking going into that game that he's not a willing runner. Sawyer Robertson is a great passer.
Yeah.
But my point there is that is one of the bigger games in the country, and it'll probably be 6th or 7th because of their TV deal. If South Florida were playing an SEC team like Florida, it would be on ESPN. It's on CW instead.
All right, let's get to our tender moment of the day, and then we'll jump into Alabama and Auburn, resetting some of the stuff they have going on for the upcoming weekend. Tell us about Bojangles, Brownie.
All right, Bojangles could be a great idea for the tailgating, whether you're going to a high school football stadium this Thursday or Friday night, or if you got a college football watch party at your house this coming weekend, let them cater that for you. Those great hand-breaded tenders with the 7 sauces that go with it, from sweet to heat to creamy to smooth to something with a little bang to it. That great bow sauce, they've got that as well. And the pork chop griller is back. It is the great biscuit right there you can get every single morning at Bojangles. Excuse me, you've missed it. It has missed you as well. So go back and reunite with the pork chop griller at Bojangles. It's bow time.
66-year-old freshman Kent Broussard has been the talk of college football the first 2 weeks. He's part of the LSU marching band. Here he is at practice, and he's on campus. By the way, before you criticize him, he is retired, and he's taking a full course load as a true freshman at LSU.
Why would I criticize him? I mean, Mr. Melton, Rodney Dangerfield went back to school and had a great time.
41 years older than the second oldest member of the LSU marching band. He went to his first LSU game in 1968. He's the 66-year-old freshman, and his motto is, "People retire, but dreams don't." He didn't dream of being an LSU football player, but he fell in love with his first game in 1968 with the way the band looked at LSU games, and now he's living out his dream there. Kent Broussard, our tender moment of the day. Pretty cool.
I guarantee you there's a lot of people listening to us right now that would love to be back in college.
That's a lot of work right there, though. I mean, the band, they practice every day, and you got to go march in that heat.
Yeah, I'm not talking about being a band. I'm just talking about going back to college.
Yeah. I saw him, though. They put him up on the big screen at Tiger Stadium against La Tech on Saturday night, and the crowd went crazy. Have you seen the video?
Yes.
Like, it's obviously a big story down there because everybody immediately recognized who he was, and the crowd went crazy when he was up on the screen. Why are you laughing? You did not just say that. You didn't say that.
No, your catchphrase now is, did you see that? Did you see
why?
Did you see the Baylor SMU game?
You know why?
Did you see it?
Yes, Brown, I saw it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I just mentioned that 8 minutes ago, Brown. I'm sorry. I missed it.
I've got cable. I get the same stuff you do.
I wasn't watching that game. Though.
I get the same stuff
I mean, forgive me if I wondered if you saw something that happened at La Tech at LSU. I didn't watch 1 minute of that game.
The stuff comes across the feed, though, Brownie. I don't necessarily have to watch the game, but and occasionally when I send it to Forrester, it's off of something I've seen. Sometimes Forrester sends it to us too, back and forth.
That's a cool story, though. Good for that guy.
Absolutely.
Good for that guy.
Not to get lost in the weeds, it's a really cool story. Okay, back to Alabama and getting ready for Wisconsin coming to town this weekend. We're going to be out at Galette's 11-2 happening in Tuscaloosa on Friday. So come join us and hang out. Tell them more about that, LT.
Yeah, we're going to be out there, as Dunaway said, 11-2. Come out, join us. Great Bud Light specials, getting ready for Alabama, Wisconsin. That is a game day staple. Galette's right there by Bryant-Denny Stadium, right on the Strip. Come by, check it out. We've got live music coming up with Camel Crush. I don't think I've ever seen Camel Crush.
What do you think they sing?
I think Camel Crush, fingers crossed, is not a jam band.
Is that not the band that was with us at?
No. That was, what was their name?
Roasted Scorpions?
That's actually not a bad band name. I kind of like that name. I
no,
can't
it's not
remember
the Monkeys.
Yeah, not Arctic Monkeys. No, it's not the
That'd
Arctic
have been
Monkeys.
big.
Yeah. I can't remember, but they were a jam band. Yeah.
But, so anyway, join us out at Galette. It's going to be a lot of fun getting ready for a big weekend in Tuscaloosa.
Hey, our guys at Central State Bank, the men and women there do a tremendous job. They are a bank that actually gets you because they are in your community. They are a community bank for more than 100 years. They've built trust by staying true to what matters: personal service, local decisions, lasting relationships. Large enough to serve you, small enough to know you, rooted in community, driven by relationships. That's how you describe Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, if you're starting to thin out a little bit, you want to make sure that you maintain what you've got on top of your head. You want to grow some back. Our man, Dr. Beckenstein, best in the business. T3hair.net for more information. You can always make the phone call to him and his great staff. Set up that consultation, 205-319-0316. We talk about T3. They've got that test. It's easy, painless, affordable. Takes 4 seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. Over 10 categories of agents they use, knowing they will work for you. They will custom compound these agents for you in pill or topical forms. You pick and choose which agents you want. Men and women ordering Hims, other products online, don't even know if they work. Stop wasting your money and critical time on things that aren't working. Find out what will work for you. Go see Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-319-0316 or T3 83hair.net.
We got to see Austin Mack in meaningful time against La Monroe this past week. Ryan Grubb gets asked about putting Austin Mack in on the second series and what he hopes that did for Ty Simpson.
Playing Austin for a series in the second quarter, I believe that's something you guys did at Fresno with Jake Haener. Just what did that do for Jake then, and what are you maybe hoping it does for Ty now?
Well, it pissed Jake off, but but that's Jake. But it helped, I thought at the time for him, and Ben Ward, who's a really good quarterback. I thought it kind of got him locked into, remembering all the things they needed to do and be clean on his preparation and prove that he's the guy, all those kind of things. And a little bit different scenario then, but that certainly was a story that I shared with Ty. And, I thought in the right way. Ty handled it the right way and just, attacked it and just kind of dug in and, focused more on himself, which is the toughest part about playing quarterback, is not letting outside influences, whether it's another quarterback, somebody from outside the program, affect the way you prepare. And I thought Ty was elite at that last week. He just dove into the preparation and did a great job.
What did you guys think of Austin, and where are we on Alabama's quarterback room right now?
My biggest takeaway from Mack was that touchdown pass he threw to Caleb Edwards, the tight end. I mean, that was a beautiful thrown ball. Again, you're playing an overmatched opponent there, but he was 8 of 10, 80 yards. That's just a good-looking throw. I mean, it wasn't a particularly long touchdown, as I remember it, like 8 or 10 yards, but it was just a pretty throw in the back of the end zone to the tight end. I thought he looked good. I mean, this is a guy that has not had meaningful snaps in quite a while.
You could tell how big he was. I kept looking at the
tall.
feet. Does he really have a size 17?
Yeah.
Well, there was one camera angle during a timeout or something, a huddle on the sidelines, and it was like they were showing maybe it was a still photo, but like you could see the top of everybody's helmets, but you could see his eyes above on the helmets.
Massive dude.
Yeah.
Massive
He's
guy.
got a good-looking arm, though. I mean, that guy can throw the.
And I think they're very, very comfortable with Austin Mack. Again, I think Ty Simpson is going to end up being a really good quarterback, but I think if something was to happen and Austin Mack had to come in, I think they're comfortable with it.
So which quarterback, and this is one of my big questions for the show here, so I'll throw it out here now. Which quarterbacks in SEC first, but college football, that you think this weekend need to take a big step forward? Which quarterbacks?
Gunnar Stockton.
Stockton is number one on the list.
Yeah, we talked about the 5.3 yards per attempt right now, and I just don't think that Georgia has opened it up. I think Gunnar Stockton's got a lot of potential. I forgot who it was we had during the summer where they talked about, the 7-on-7 camps. All of the players raved about Gunnar Stockton for the last couple of years.
I think it was Brooks Austin, because he was talking about him growing up with a lot of the Georgia players in North Georgia there, where he played. I think Rabun County is where he played, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think another one, they got the win last week, but I think Austin Simmons.
That's number 2 on the list right there, buddy. Austin Simmons.
Yeah.
Because, I mean,
we're
not talking. Here comes Arkansas.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but Lance a long time ago told us how good Bobby Petrino is.
You've been a fan for a while,
and they've got a quarterback that's been in Bobby's system now that is playing pretty good little football. And this is an interesting game. If Austin Simmons turns it over a couple of times, like he did in Lexington, that game could get juicy and awesome.
Taylor Green. I'm sorry, Lance. Yep. Taylor Green's already got 10 touchdown passes.
I'm telling you. I go back and watch games. I record every SEC game, and when I go back and watch them, I know who they played so far and everything, but the Arkansas's offense looks different.
And that's
what
I was going to say. Is he's been untested. It has been Alabama,
A&M,
and Arkansas State. So he's been untested, Lance, but still 71, almost 72% completion percentage, 10 touchdowns, 2 picks in 2 games.
Yeah. They look different offensively right now.
They do. Now, Kejuan Lacey running the football, I mean, look, that's something they can really lean on. The third guy I would go, SEC again, DJ Lagway.
Well,
DJ Lagway, 73rd in QBR. A lot of people believed he was going to be the savior for Billy Napier and just didn't look good against South Florida. And now you go into Baton Rouge, really good rivalry game. We don't talk about a lot, Florida LSU. They haven't won there since 2016. Everybody's hyping up Nussmeier and LSU. LSU's offense really hasn't been good. Their defense has been lights out through 2 games. But this is a big spot for Lagway.
Okay, we haven't done Ty Simpson yet.
No. There's another one you got to
There's one more that see if you say the one I'm thinking.
I mean, it's got to be Cade Klubnik at Georgia Tech. Cade Klubnik's been
Oh,
bad.
we're doing SEC first.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
apologies.
That's okay.
My apologies. They're not in the SEC class?
Well, so would you go
Lenore Sellers, man? I have not seen yet Lenore Sellers that I thought we needed to see for South Carolina to meet the expectations that everybody thought they were going to be this year. Playoff contender. He's got to play better.
I don't know if it's entirely on him, though.
That's part of it, the offense. Everybody around you.
That
Everybody
offensive
around him.
line is not good.
And what was our biggest concern about this offense in the offseason? And people think we're just making jokes about it, but we're really not. Our biggest concern was his offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah, Mike Shula.
I mean, they got outgained by South Carolina State in a game they won closer than it should have been. What did that sound like? Sounds like when Mike Shula was coach at Alabama.
Yeah.
You play an inferior opponent, you might win the game, but you got outgained because your offense was so bad.
But I know everybody watched the Virginia Tech game, and there were some missed open receivers there. That's not on the coach. Sometimes that's on the quarterback, and sometimes the decision making. They had a couple of big plays, obviously, in that game to win it, but I think there's another gear he's got to go to.
Well, they first of all, they've got to establish they don't have Rocket Sanders. They've got to establish, who that guy is at face on, who's going to be the guy out of the backfield. You've got a big play potential weapon in Nick Harbor. We saw it with the big completion, the 68-yarder or whatever against Virginia Tech. He's a massive specimen, but I think we've got to look more for the Sellers to Harbor hookup. I do expect some points in this Vanderbilt South Carolina game. Pavia, I think he'll probably play well. He seems like he always does. But I agree with you. I think Lenoris needs to show us something. And then Marcel Reed, a guy that didn't start last year in College Station against Notre Dame in that 10-point loss. This is a guy that's playing pretty good football. Nobody's talking about him. If he was to go into South Bend and knock off Notre Dame as a 7-point underdog, I think Marcel Reed gets on people's radar pretty quickly.
My issue with Texas Tech, or Texas A&M, is they've given up 24 and 22, I believe, are the two numbers in the first 2 weeks. And, I haven't watched all 120 minutes of those games, so, you could have short fields and things like that. But that's just more points than I would have thought they would have given up to those two opponents. I mean, those have not been very good opponents that they have given up a lot of offense to, it seems. So that concerns me more than the offense is where is that Elko defense right now going to South Bend?
UTSA and Utah State, is that correct?
That is correct, yeah.
And then Cade Klubnik, you know how I feel about him. It's obviously a huge test for them on the road at Georgia Tech this weekend.
Well, he's just played bad. I mean, it's not that he's underperformed. He's literally playing bad football. His completion percentage is under 60%. I think it's 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, if I'm not mistaken, for him right now. His own coach has already called him out after week 1, and it didn't change anything. Like week 2, he was probably worse than he was week 1 after Dabo called him out publicly after the LSU loss. I'm not sure he didn't play worse against Troy than he did against LSU.
Look, I know we didn't see a lot of Haynes King last week, or any Haynes King, because he's in concussion protocol.
They were just
quote unquote,
Philo's
relubing the joints and changing the shocks and tightening the bolts.
But I think through 2 weeks, I don't think anybody's going to be surprised if Haynes King outplays Cade Klubnik and Georgia Tech wins that game.
Yeah, and let me correct myself. It's 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. I mean, he is 2-2 in touchdowns and picks this year. Klubnik is 59.7 completion percentage, and they're not getting the ball downfield. Now, again, they had an injury at receiver. Lance brings that up, and rightfully so.
Yeah, and Antonio
LSU.
Williams, I don't know what his status is for this week.
I don't
know.
either.
That offense is different without him.
Yep. Interesting quarterbacks. They got to get some things done. And listen, they're off the beaten path now. Kansas State. They're on the road at Arizona on Friday night on Fox, 8 o'clock, playing Arizona. But Avery Johnson is lost.
Did you see the stat? I didn't see this in real time, but I saw the stat this morning because Army is doing a victory lap for that win. Did you see the second half time of possession for Kansas State in that game?
Yeah, it was. They had a long 14-minute drive. Surprise onside kick, and then the rest of the quarter, basically.
Second half. Kansas State had the ball 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know how on earth you would win a game.
Yeah,
3 minutes and 10
seconds. I still
seconds.
think Kansas State's got a lot in front of them. The Army loss is unexplainable.
Army had just lost to Tarleton State.
Well, I think on Friday, one of the 4 downs question was better chance of pulling the upset, South Florida or Army.
I think they both did.
And they both did. I fully expect Noah Fafita still your quarterback with a rat tail for Arizona. And Arizona's been really good in their first 2 outings. But I think Avery Johnson and K-State, they go on the road and they get right in this spot.
By the way, also on Friday night, ESPN Colorado at Houston, where Deion Sanders has been letting Ryan Staub take first-team reps in practice. There were reports that he'd be the starter for the game. Deion has come back and said it's not about being right, it's about being first now. I think Pete Thamel was the one that reported
That's
that
shocking,
Staub
though.
was going to start. Caden Salter, Juju Lewis, highly thought of portal guy and recruit. But Ryan Staub has gotten first-team reps in practice. That at least is what they will admit.
But Coach Prime didn't say who was starting, right?
No.
So if Staub starts, I mean, Thamel ends up being correct on his report. I would be surprised it's not Lewis. I mean, I would have thought that was the natural pecking order, right? If Salter doesn't get it done, you go to Juju Lewis next. To bypass him to go to Staub would be a bit surprising.
One more thing on Auburn after LT tells us about Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, true pioneer, first to perform the LASIK procedure in the state of Alabama way back in 1995. I got the procedure done in 2003. Still have 2015 vision, better than 2020. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Located conveniently, UAB Highlands. Make the phone call. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
And watching the Auburn game the second time, my big takeaway was Xavier Atkins. I joked on Monday that if he had gotten the post-game meal and got on the bus with the fine folks from Ball State, they wouldn't have been shocked because he was in their backfield all night long. Here's Hugh Freeze on Xavier Atkins' impact right now.
Yeah, it was DJ and the defensive guys and personnel believed he had that potential when we signed him. I became a pretty quick believer, throughout spring ball into fall camp, especially fall camp. His movement skills and his strength and explosiveness. I know he's not the biggest guy, biggest linebacker, but boy, he packs a pretty good punch and he plays the game the way you want to play it. It's 100 miles an hour like Eugene Asante, similar, and it didn't take long for us to realize that we needed that quick twitch and tackling ability on the defensive side on the field a large portion of the time, and he continues to produce.
He continues to produce for that defense there.
I know there was some concern about Auburn's defense coming out of the Baylor game, and maybe Auburn and SMU are just bad defenses. That's a possibility.
I will tell you that Ball State is as one of my buddies on Auburn guy, a season ticket holder on the golf course yesterday, Jay Orr said Ball State may be one of the worst offensive football teams I've ever watched.
And I think he's right about that.
And that's, I brought it up last week. Like, this is a great opportunity for DJ Durkin to pitch shutout. One of the reasons I laid 42.5 with Auburn, I thought they would. They gave up the 3.
63 yards. You kind of felt good about a shutout there.
You felt really good. I mean, they were shut out the week before against Purdue. And, Ball State is a bad football team.
And again, maybe Auburn and SMU are just bad on defense, and I'm wrong about this. I would tap the brakes before I panic about Auburn's pass defense. Sawyer Robinson's a really good quarterback, and he's leading the nation in passing right now because of what he's done against Auburn and SMU. So I don't know that defense – you got probably fool's gold against Ball State. They're terrible. I don't think they're as bad as they looked against Baylor.
Does LT still have a Heisman vote?
I think so.
Yeah, Sawyer Robertson 3 times, 3 different segments on the show today.
He's leading the nation in passing.
I mean, is he trying to get you to vote for Sawyer? Is Sawyer on your short ballot? I know you're not allowed to discuss.
I don't think Sawyer is.
You want me to?
I do like. I mean, I was hyping up the guy in the offseason.
You want me to pull the curtain back just a little bit?
You know him?
No, I don't know him at all.
His parents go to your church?
His parents do not go to my church. I don't know.
Our representatives represent his representatives?
Potentially, maybe so. My daughter now has a year-long boyfriend whose parents graduated from Baylor.
Oh, okay.
And they're big Baylor fans. So I have paid more attention because of that to Baylor. Now, they played Auburn, and then they played an exceptional game against SMU Saturday. So I've seen just about every throw Sawyer Robertson has made this year. And again, I'll point out, Jim, he has played 2 Power 4 teams, and he's leading the nation in passing.
Hey, our friends at Roback have got Baylor gear now.
That's
Should
right.
you get some?
It should be a Christmas gift for a boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Go TNR 20, save 20%. I'm going to tell her that.
TNR 20, Roback.com, Roback.com. You can jump in there and get that discount, 20% off. It's the best golf gear I wear out there. It's rowback.com, promo code TNR20, and that helps us out a lot too. As we head to break here, our friends at Inverness Country Club, speaking of golf LT, and we'll get to trash on the other side.
Yeah, hey, if you're looking for that membership to a golf club locally, you need to take a tour of this unbelievable club.
Or rackets, you can play a little tennis,
pickleball, great pool, child care, so many different things. Find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. Again, they've got memberships that fit everyone. Take a tour of the unbelievable club. Call Aaron 205-991-8608. You can always go online for more information, iccalabama.com. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Maybe you relocated to retired. Inverness is a great place to network. Again, for more information, iccalabama.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Honey, a while back, life knocked me flat on my behind. I was hit by an 18-wheeler, and Lord of mercy, it left me hurting. Now, I heard through the grapevine that Alexander Shannara had recovered big money for some people. You been hurt? Can't work? Don't sit there suffering. Call my people at Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys. Ain't gonna cost you a dime, so pick up the phone and dial 659-777-7777 or go to Shannara.com, because when I called, Alexander Shannara answered.
Call me, Alabama.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Catch up on all today's Next Round on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you never miss any part of the Next Round. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Rowback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at rowback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's rowback.com, promo code TNR20.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
Back with you on the next round. Trash coming up in just a second. The show being brought to you by a couple of our great sponsors. One of them is our friends at mybookie.ag. Brownie, tell us about them.
Yeah, when you use code NEXTROUND, when you sign up at mybookie.ag, they are going to give you that $500 bet back bonus. Here's how that's going to work for you. You make your first bet. Up to $500, they'll cover that bet for you if you lose and put it right back into your account. That is peace of mind when you start at mybookie.ag. They just want it to be a great start for you, so they're going to do that for you. Bet back bonus up to $500 on your first bet when you use code NEXTROUND. Perhaps you want to play the NFL Thursday night, where Green Bay is a 3.5-point home favorite as they face the Washington Commanders. Perhaps you want a little college action. You got a Thursday night game tomorrow night as well. NC State minus 7.5 on the road at Wake. Some Friday games where Houston's a 5.5-point home favorite over Colorado. As Jim just mentioned, maybe a quarterback change at Colorado. We talked about Kansas State struggling against Army in the loss. They're a 1.5-point favorite at Arizona. UCLA just struggling altogether. The Brown Bandit didn't like them at home at all. They're a 15.5-point home favorite over New Mexico. That's Thursday and Friday action. You can play it in all the games at mybookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with mybookie.ag. Don't forget code NEXTROUND when you sign up at mybookie.ag. That gives you a bet back bonus of up to $500. You lose the bet, they put it right back into your account, up to $500 at mybookie.ag when you use code NEXTROUND.
From the SEC teleconference, Kalen DeBoer cleaning up some injury news. The Alabama coach says that Ryan Williams is cleared concussion protocol. He is going to play versus Wisconsin coming up this weekend. First of all, great to get Ryan Williams back, and misses just that one game after the big hit down at Florida State, and maybe get him into a little bit of a flow.
Yeah, look, I think both Kalen DeBoer, or all three, I should say, Ryan Grubb and Ryan Williams have heard the criticism. Like, what has happened to Ryan Williams since first half of last season? So I think it is going to be interesting to see, A, how they use him, and B, how he responds to all this negative talk.
And what you said. What does it do to Brooks snaps? And you want to see Lutzer Brooks. What did he call him yesterday? Lottie? Can we go Lottie? That's what.
Lassier, yes.
Lassier, but I think Kalen DeBoer called him Lottie. Latsier Brooks, you made the point you don't want to see him lose snaps just because Ryan Williams comes back. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with the rotation there, too, against Wisconsin.
And then Jam Miller is a game-time decision. So, too, is Tim Keenan. The gut feeling is that Miller is closer to playing than Keenan is, but maybe both play this weekend. But game-time decisions for Jam Miller and Tim Keenan happening this weekend. That's for Alabama as they get ready for Wisconsin. That from Kalen DeBoer on the SEC teleconference. This show being brought to you in part by our friend Alexander Shinara as we get ready for trash.
Shinara Trial Attorneys. You can use them when you're in need of an attorney, and you're not going to pay a dime unless they win your case. See all that at Shinara.com. Shinara.com. Alexander Shinara, a Birmingham guy. Birmingham born and bred, and right now his firm in Birmingham has more than 24 years under the belt with more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members. That's what you find with Alexander Shinara. They've recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining his core values: integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of a lawyer, call the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. You pay nothing unless they win your case. Shinara.com, Shinara.com.
What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, right there. Yes. I see that you know your judo well. Get your hand off my penis!
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Quick reminder again, 11 to 2 Friday, Galette's on the Strip in Tuscaloosa, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. We will be live on location. Cracker Barrel, back in the news, said yesterday it's suspending remodels of its restaurants after criticism from many longtime fans. Now, the announcement came 2 weeks after Cracker Barrel backtracked on separate plan to modernize and simplify its logo. Fans of the chain had also loudly criticized that move. Now, Cracker Barrel said that just 4 of its 660 restaurants had been remodeled as part of the test of the brand. Remodels, which began last year, added more comfortable seating, brighter lights, lighter paint, and a simplified assortment of antiques, but kept signature elements like fireplaces. Now, the company released in a statement, quote, "We heard clearly that the modern remodel design does not reflect what you love about Cracker Barrel. Of course, we will continue to invest in our restaurants to make sure that they are in good shape and meet your expectations." Cracker Barrel announced a transformation plan in May of 2024 under its new CEO, Julie Fles-Massino, former executive of Taco Bell and Starbucks. I did see over the weekend that somebody posted a meme of her saying the one that changed the Cracker Barrel logo also got rid of the Mexican pizza.
That's not the same person. Is that her? Is that her, Tyler, in the photo, or is this some random person eating at Cracker Barrel?
Or no, this is someone
eating at Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if she is the same one. She was overseeing Taco Bell when they got rid of the Mexican pizza. She had to put her 2 cents in, right?
I guess if she's overseeing the company, I would think an important decision like doing away with the Mexican pizza makes it her desk.
We did pass a fast food restaurant a couple of days ago, and just looking at it, how they've a lot of people have redone the fast food brands to like modernize it. I don't know if it's necessarily needed.
Clearly an unpopular opinion by me here, Tyler, if you could pop this back up. Number 1, do not care what the logo looks like at a restaurant. Number 2, the inside looks better. The redo, that picture looks better than a Cracker Barrel. But there again, don't really care what the inside looks like. You know what I'm at a restaurant for? Food.
But there is something nostalgic about the clutter and the tackiness of Cracker Barrel.
But I've never walked at Cracker Barrel and said, you know what I love about this place is the old plow on the wall. I want good food. And if the food is good, I mean, I think that looks better. But there again, I don't care. I'm just there for the food. Don't change the food.
But Brown, you're not following the mob mentality on social media. You should.
Is it mob mentality though? I just don't want everything to just keep getting worse because that's how.
But how is that worse? It looks nice.
Well, that doesn't look like the comfortable
design,
Cracker Barrel.
everything.
I don't care because I don't eat at Cracker Barrel. I hadn't eaten there in 20 plus years.
Why do you
but
have
I'm
an
just saying
opinion?
that just doesn't look like Cracker Barrel for whatever that's worth.
It doesn't, but
it doesn't. But I always worry about the plow, as Brown says, or the old Shell station sign that's on the wall, or the Citgo, whatever it is.
There's a sickle hanging above.
Well, they've still got those signs. It looks like.
I'm always worried about the dust falling off of that into my gravy and biscuits. Because there's no way they're wiping those antiques down every night.
Yeah, I like the rebranded look on the inside personally. Again, Tyler, understand me. I don't care. I'm just going to get food. If the food is good, I'll keep going back.
Yeah, I just don't think it's good business sense to how many stores? 240 stores to change your signage at 240 stores just to change your signage. I mean, that sounds like if you came to me right now and say, hey, we need to change the signage on our front door here to this building, I'm going to be like, why do we need to spend that money? That signage looks perfectly fine to me.
No, but again, remodeling all these locations, why do you need to do it? It's almost
I
like...
don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I'm
Mercedes-Benz is a great venue, but the Georgia Dome was okay, right?
I mean, I just told you the Broncos
I know.
from 2001 to today, they've announced they're building a new stadium. They've had this one since 2001.
With the Cracker Barrel and Pizza Hut sort of rebrands where they take the cool design on the interior or on the logo and just change it to a plain like script, I think it's just somebody like trying to justify having a job.
No, I think people are overthinking this stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they should have changed. I'm just like, I don't know why people got so wound up about the new look. It looks nice and clean. If the food is the same, that's all I really care about.
Well, you're right. When people get put in,
everything looks nice and clean. Whether you go to a movie theater, a restaurant, or a website,
You just want to live in
everything
filth?
just looks so plain and boring, soulless.
I did not know Tyler had these types of stances. Soulless.
Yeah. You change logos as you go along. I mean, ESPN has changed theirs a variety of different times, and the Jets, my goodness, they went retro, and now they've gone back to what was their 1980s look more.
Yeah, I mean the Rams have done it a bunch.
Yeah, I mean it's just it's a good way to get more gear for sports teams.
Local comic book store owner James Bird and his former employee Travis Daniels have been arrested and charged with multiple offenses, including theft, receiving stolen property, and telecommunications fraud. The pair has been accused of reselling stolen Lego sets and over-the-counter medicines. Boy, that is quite the contrast.
Would you like to shop our medicines or our Legos?
At the Paper Street Trading Company since 2021. Quote, these guys were ripping all of us off, according to Hamilton County Prosecutor Connie Pillich, because we stop at these stores, these big box stores, and if prices had to go up to cover those losses, we're paying for that, and that's not right. Court records revealed that Birds and Daniels allegedly accepted stolen Lego sets from retailers such as Kroger and Walmart, altering the barcodes on the packaging to prevent tracing back to the original stores. Stolen merchandise valued at more than $150,000.
That sounds serious.
What I mean, so I guess they stole logos from the store, like boxes of Legos?
Yeah.
'Cause, man, my wife did a lot of cleaning. We had Legos we could give them. I mean, we gave those things away.
Oh, they don't want your Legos, though. They want the rare ones.
Oh, I don't know if we had rare ones. We had a bunch of them.
You know, we forgot about this, but Ty Simpson, before the Florida State game, told us he really relaxed and enjoyed doing Legos.
I did forget about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder what he did after the Florida State game. I'd like to know.
What did you build after that? It wasn't a spear.
Yeah.
What did you build after that game?
I would tell you the Florida State game made me feel like I stepped on a Lego in the middle of the night.
Those are bad.
So, TikToker Brittany DeZalo and her friend found themselves on board a flight heading for Tunis, the capital of the North African country, Tunisia.
Hear no evil, speak no evil there.
Now, after an airline worker misheard them when booking a ticket to Nice, coastal city in France, they said Nice. According to Brittany, she informed a flight attendant, quote, we're supposed to go to Nice, France. As seen in the video shared September 7th, we're on the wrong flight. However, the flight attendant told Brittany it was too late to get off the plane as her checked luggage had already been loaded into the cargo bay. Instead, she would have to remain on the flight and sort out her travel plans at her new destination. Now, Brittany told the camera, quote, we're going to have to change to Tunis. We're going to Africa. After landing in Tunisia, more confusion occurred as Brittany and her friend tried to sort out the mix-up with the airport employees due to the language barrier and the fact that Tunis and Tunis sound very similar. The travelers had a difficult time explaining the situation. So basically, Tyler...
Yep, they ended up in Tunis instead of wanting to go to Nice.
Yes, they were trying to go to Nice, France, and ended up in Tunis.
Don't you just
Tunisia.
follow your boarding pass and where you're supposed to?
You know what makes me doubt this story? Lance started it with TikTok influencer.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's what makes me think this story is not 100% true.
And it's well documented all the way through.
That's right. Yeah, we got a lot of video from this. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. This is completely fabricated.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you start it with TikTok influencer, I'm like, yeah, this is staged.
I mean, there's potential, but
how do they get the money to
also
travel
think
like this?
Potential that somebody's that dumb, and that there's this sort of miscommunication.
Right. They'll make enough money off the views to pay for the trip.
Probably so.
I mean, do you get one sponsor? Do you have like a Bojangles? It's like, hey, I'm gonna fly you around the world.
I wish.
Just keep
TikTok dollars are nothing.
Yeah, so
it's just so small. The creator fund for
are
TikTok.
they really?
Yeah, it's pennies.
So where's the money? YouTube.
YouTube's got the majority of it. It's just where most people watch stuff.
So you got our videos on Spotify now? I'm told in a group text.
Yeah, so
where everybody was applauding your great work.
Our podcasts on Spotify, we separate the show into the 3 individual hours along with trash and any interviews we do. And all of those are available in both audio and video form on Spotify. You can open it up and depending on if you're in the car, at home, or you want to save data, click off your screen. You can switch between them. All right there on Spotify.
Okay, great work by you guys back there. Good job.
Really good. It's exactly the way I consume Call Her Daddy. I can do audio or video, so we're right there with Call Her Daddy now. Perfect.
Shows are a lot alike.
It's just where you want it to be.
Thank you, Daddy Gang.
So if somebody fell out, we've talked about this before, CPR. Are there certain people that you would not choose to do CPR on?
Is this mouth to mouth or is this?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough question. So are you asking me if I see somebody laying on the ground and I'm like, I got to do mouth to mouth to save them, do I think twice?
How about this? Not even a person. How about if it's an animal?
Oh, no.
Brown stepping over that carcass to go to lunch.
Go through mouth to mouth on an animal? You're out of your mind.
How about this? Kentucky nurse Misty Combs headed into work at the health department in Whitesburg. She didn't expect one of her patients that day to be a wild animal. Quote, "I've had some pretty crazy days on the job, but nothing like this," Combs told local news outlet Lex 18. Combs and her coworker reportedly heard a ruckus happening near the dumpster in the parking lot, noticed a panicked raccoon attempting to rescue two of her pups trapped inside.
Oh.
Quote, "Our health department is right beside the Kentucky Mist Moonshine, a distillery. They had put some fermented peaches in their dumpster, and I guess the baby raccoons had gotten in the dumpster and they were stuck," the long-term nurse
And
explained.
drunk. Yep.
Now the RN's, quote, "motherly instinct kicked in and she knew that she had to get the babies out of the dumpster. She went on to say, I saw the mama. I was trying so hard to get her babies back. She didn't know what to do. So that's when Combs grabbed the shovel, scooped out the first baby raccoon, who ran to its mom. But the second raccoon was face down at the bottom of the dumpster, which was filled with water and the moonshine-soaked peaches. Combs grabbed the raccoon by the tail, pulled it to safety, realizing that it was unresponsive. She said, everybody around it, like, it's dead, it's not breathing, it's drowned, it's full of water. So she said, I decided to immediately start doing CPR on it. How dirty is that damn thing?
My gosh, this woman's going to want to kiss a man at some point. I'm like,
Now, in a now viral video taken by coworkers, Combs was seen performing compressions on the raccoon's chest.
Not on my watch!
Then flipping it on its side to slap its back. Combs had never performed CPR on an animal before in her 21 years of nursing, but told Lex 18 that she did what she could in the moment to help save its life. Now, the raccoon eventually, good news, began breathing.
Oh, thank God.
Combs was a little reluctant. She said, the entire time I was afraid it was going to bite me, and I know they carry rabies. I would think you probably could just get it mouth to mouth,
I think
right?
so too. Saliva to saliva? Is that not going to give you rabies?
You always ask medical questions we don't have the answer to. I don't know, but where was the mom?
Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't attack her.
That's why, because it doesn't know that I'm performing life.
Yeah,
helping.
good point.
You know,
Dude, that thing's dead as a
CPR,
hammer
yeah.
too, isn't it?
Oh, it's
How
laid
hammered
out.
is it?
Yeah, it's laid out.
Just eating fermented peaches.
Just give me 2 more minutes. I'll be okay.
So Google says, yes, rabies can transfer through saliva, typically via a bite from an infected animal, but also if saliva with the virus contacts broken skin or mucous membranes,
See?
eyes, nose, and mouth.
Yep.
The virus multiplies in the salivary glands of the infected animal, making saliva a primary vehicle for transmission.
Yeah, primary.
Yeah, they probably need to dispose of their fermented peaches. But it does sound good, though. A little peach moonshine.
I don't know. I might drop some fermented
got some in the other
peaches
room
around
if
my
you want
apartment
some.
complex.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That stuff's dangerous.
Somebody
you can't taste the shine.
Somebody gave us moonshine jalapenos.
Ooh.
That was our friend Richard Holland, remember?
Yeah, I've still got those in my fridge.
Those are a little much, though, aren't they?
You know, it was pretty heavy taste, Lance. I'm going to be honest with you. I've still got them in my fridge, but I tried 1 or 2, and I was like, woo!
I like the cherries. Have you guys tried those?
Oh, yeah.
Moonshine cherries?
Yeah.
Pickled peaches are good. Jono, have you had pickled peaches?
I have not.
Those are good.
There was a time when we used to drink moonshine that was just the legitimate shine, and it was the absolute worst tasting thing you could ever put in your
One
mouth.
that just tasted like alcohol?
It was even worse. Like, I can't even describe, like,
Lighter
burned,
fluid?
Really, probably more turpentine, lighter fluid.
Yeah. Then we got fancy and started putting fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good days.
Dangerous, though.
Yeah. Back in my day, we just drink lighter fluid, rubbing alcohol. Yeah. If we were lucky, we got a little bit of NyQuil.
That's all I got.
That's Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. One more time, tell us about our plans on Friday. Again, the show will air live 11 to 2 on Friday. Brooks, I'm sure, will be sending out reminders on Friday to remind you that the show doesn't start at 9, but 11 to 2 at Galette's.
Yeah, 11 to 2 Galette's, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. We're going to stay a little bit later, though. So Company Distilling, we're going to actually do a Bama and Bourbon with Aaron Suttles. So a live version of Bama and Bourbon this week. From Galette's, I guess we're going there 2:30 to 3.
Yeah.
We'll have a little 30-minute buffer, but from 11 to 2, our regular show, great Bud Light specials, live music will be there. So we're looking forward to a big Friday at Galette's.
Mike Gundy, did he stay too long?
You know, I've always thought there are a couple guys that I thought were just right place, right time. They were just such a good fit with their school. I don't know that it would have worked anywhere else. I've always put Mike Gundy. You put Phil Fulmer in that category, I think, Jim. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think you've said that before.
Not staying too long, but
no.
As a guy that had worked great at Tennessee, I don't think he could have coached anywhere else.
Yeah, and I tend to think Gundy was that same way. We'll never find out. Supposedly he was up for the Tennessee job, almost took it at one point. Don't know if that's true or not. I do think he has stayed too long at Oklahoma State. It is beyond time to make a change.
That was a bad look, them getting beat the way they did at Oregon.
He might have stayed too long, but where's he going to go?
He's not going to go anywhere. I'm saying if he were at all worried about the way he's thought of down the road, and this will probably get forgotten. He's had so much success there. Yeah. But, I mean, if he cares anything about his legacy, the end of this tenure at Oklahoma State has not looked good.
Yeah, I understand, like, the ebbs and flows of a program like Oklahoma State. What I don't understand is how bad they've been last year and then early this year.
But see, Jim, he knew how bad they were going to get beaten, too. He doesn't do that whole NIL discussion without knowing that they were about to go get their head handed to them.
And he discussed in the postgame about be patient with us. You know, this is my alma mater. It's in our alma mater, the actual song about, you know, patience and working through and all this. And he was preaching patience. So they're not to Big 12 play yet. They can still turn things around. But Kirk Ferentz a little bit. I mean, they were close in that Cy-Hawk game this past weekend, but
it's just
I was expecting more out of Iowa this year. And
Bielema's going to take that job, I think.
You
I mean,
think?
I don't know what you guys think about that. I think Bielema will ultimately take that job.
I mean, if he gets Illinois to the playoffs, I mean, I know he's got history with Iowa.
I mean, they're ranked in the top 10 for the first time in 24 years.
I know, but why leave there to go to Iowa and start it over?
Well,
If you do that
it's
at
his alma
Illinois?
mater.
I know it's his alma
and then he
mater.
can justify that Hawkeye tattoo on him.
Yeah, but he's about to become the winningest coach in Big Ten history. You've got to think that's the last thing, right, Jim?
Kirk Ferentz, not Brett Bielema.
Yeah,
yes.
Kirk Ferentz. Yeah, but you got to think that's the last thing for Ferentz, and then he retires after that.
Larry Guys, by the way, made a $100 million gift to Illinois. And they put his name on the stadium. It's now Geis Memorial Stadium there in Champaign.
$100 million?
$100 million gift to the athletic department. And they said, I think it was just Memorial Stadium. Now it's Geis Memorial
I wonder
Stadium.
if you can demand anything with that. Like, you
Yes.
got to keep my name on it for 50 years if I'm going to give you $100 million.
I guarantee
and then if I'm
you-
taking it, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be dead in 50. I'm going to be retired. It's not going to matter to me.
If you walked up to Greg Byrne or John Cohen and said, I'll give $100 million, but I want a guarantee my name's on the stadium for 50 years, they would sign that deal today.
I don't think they would.
I don't know.
$100 million for 50 years?
50 years for $100 million
That's $2 million
right
a year.
now?
That's
Yeah,
$2 million
No,
a
but it's
year.
$100 million up front. I'm getting $100 million right now. To Lance's
and
point,
the
you know-
people in charge aren't going to be around.
That's what, to Lance's point, Greg Byrne and John Cohen are like, when they want to take the name off the stadium, I'm not going to be here anyway, and I'm getting $100 million right now.
First off, by record, you can't put the name on the stadium. It's got to go through the state legislature, but go ahead.
Okay.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That has to be approved by the state legislature, not just the Board of Trustees?
So did that happen in Florida with Pitbull too?
No, I don't know.
I mean, his name's on FIU, is it not? But I mean, do you not think
I just know
Alabama?
Alabama? It's got to be it's a state legislature.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have thought it was
you
just Board of
being an
Trustees.
Alabama fan, if John Smith wanted to put his name on it, but you were getting $100 million for your NIL over the next couple of years, would you be cool with that?
Bryant-Denny Smith, or Smith-Bryant-Denny Stadium.
I just don't think for $100 million it's worth it.
Boy, I do. In this world of college football, $100 million. And I know what you're saying. That's $2 million a year, but I mean, it could be like Smith AT&T Stadium. Like in Texas Tech, I think it is Jones AT&T Stadium.
Like I thought to myself, if I'd won that $1.8 billion Powerball last week that the kid in Texas and Missouri won.
Did you and Steve have a ticket? Did you have a ticket for that?
I did not. I got Florida lottery.
Oh, okay.
For Steve and I.
Okay.
But if I'd won the $1.8 billion one, by the way, here's if it's true, the Texas kid. He was part of the ZBTs down there at Texas. As pledges, they were mandated to go buy a ticket. And according to their story, and one of their tickets, they're one of the two tickets that hit $1.8 billion, and that's them celebrating.
So are they just sharing it with the
Oh,
whole
I was about to
fraternity?
say, the brothers, does everybody get one?
Boy, legally how this thing's going to get chopped up is going to be a mess.
Somebody's about to disappear with money.
I don't know the details. I am not sure. Texas is where one ticket was. Missouri was the other.
His dad's a big attorney in Texas. He's like, you bought it.
I'm going to believe it when I see it that it actually was a winning ticket. If not, it's just a good viral moment on social media. I don't believe anything I see on social media. But I did think the other day that if $1.8 billion, I would have taken the build for Giants off of Bryant-Denny Stadium's field. I would have gone in and bought that off.
It didn't look that bad.
No,
Did you think it looked bad?
No, but I would have gone in and just told Greg Burns.
Just go green?
Here we go.
Yeah. Just keep grass. I don't need my name there.
Yeah, I don't want it. You can put Saban Field out there if you want. Well, let's protect Saban Field. I would have given a nice donation to Greg there to cover up Bill Giants. All right, there you go. That's the show. Back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Bama and Bourbon live on Friday for more with Aaron and LT and all the content that you can get, including LT and Brock Heward right now, wherever you get our video and audio podcasts on our YouTube channel and now on Spotify too. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.